Welcome back to the Curios Cast, episode 50. It's a very special episode of Weird News today. It's a drinking episode. We've got the beers in. Sit back and relax. Listen to me, Tom, George, and Rob chat about a whole load of shit. It's the Curios Cast, episode 50. 50 episodes.
Flawless that was. I think I played that absolutely flawlessly.
I can't wait to hear it back.
Not a single mistake in that.
I've got some stats for us, guys.
I was hoping for some stats, yeah.
As we know, 50th episode.
50th
episode. That works out to a total
50
of
episodes.
54 hours and 29 minutes of recording.
Shit.
Kind of makes sense because we do about an hour.
It does, but we only recently started doing about an hour, so like...
It used to be like 3 hours, didn't it? 2.5 hours. I think the longest is about 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Well, on like a time scale, it is more recently, but because we're doing them weekly, like we've actually had a good 35 episodes or so. Most of our episodes are less than an hour now. And then we've got the earlier ones. Our longest ever episode, do you guys know what episode our longest one is?
It's going to be like episode 5 maybe, or 6.
Is it Conspiracies?
Conspiracies was the second.
Is it Halloween?
It is the Halloween, yeah. So the Conspiracy episode was our second longest episode, and that was 141 minutes. What did you say? The Halloween episode was 161 minutes. That beat it by 20 minutes.
Shit.
Okay.
So it was a long one. And our shortest
That's a good episode as well, that.
It is a good episode. What, the Halloween one?
The Halloween one, yeah.
Halloween one was okay.
Yeah, go back and listen to the Halloween one if you haven't, everybody. It is good. Episode 13.
Great outfits.
Yeah, watch it on the YouTube channel because we're all dressed up. It's great. And we've got a guest, Faz.
And we had some great like set dressing. We had like all those pumpkins that I got with the candles, the pumpkins that Gina carved, candles that I got from Nell from the folk club.
Yeah, you were running around to get them cameras.
So it's just okay, was it, Rob? Yeah, just okay.
Just an okay episode.
Fuck it.
Our shortest episode was the £1 fish interview episode because it was just it's a short interview with us talking about it. That was 28 minutes.
Concise.
Now, the who do you reckon has been on the most episodes?
It's probably you, isn't it?
Out of all of us.
Well, you haven't ever missed one, so it's got to be you.
I've never missed one, but I wasn't there from the beginning.
Yeah, but it was only about 6, really, wasn't it, when we think about it?
Not even that.
Not even that.
Like 4 episodes.
Is it really only 4 episodes we did with Lawford? It felt like such a long time we were doing it. It was over the course of like a year, probably.
So, I think it's Tom. Well, maybe Rob. Maybe it's Rob.
I'm starting to doubt my counting because I didn't use it. All I did was I just went through our podcast episodes and just on the title just remembered who was on that episode.
That's a really well, they use that in all major sporting events and stuff, so to count stuff.
By my calculations, the person who has been on the least amount of episodes, of course, we start getting into our guests at this point. So
Lawford.
you've got Luke, who has been on 1 episode.
Big up Luke, shout out to Luke, man like Easty.
And then tied in I guess second place or first place for guests, we've got Faz and Ziggy. They've both been on 2 episodes.
Yep. Shout out Faz and Ziggy. Is Faz on? Faz was on 2. What other one was she on?
She was on the Halloween one, and she was on episode a very early 5
like
or
when
something.
We spoke about that monkey ghost that was masturbating. Say no more about that. You want to know about the masturbating monkey ghost?
Yeah, I think it wasn't episode 5, it was like 6 or 7, I think. But oh no,
there might have been the last one before episode 8.
Episode 8, yep. And then
shit,
you never saw Lawford after that. You saw, I filled in for episode 9, and then we went on to me being full time.
Bigger and better things.
There might be some people who are listening. Maybe I'm sure we've picked up at least one listener since the very beginning, right? Who hasn't listened to the early ones?
Never heard Lawford.
And well, that's the thing is like we say Lawford's name, but for one, no one knows what a Lawford is. Like, so Lawford is actually a person, right? He was one of the founders of the Curios Cast. It was George, Rob, and Lawford, and then I stepped in because Lawford was shit. So anyway, so
it's funny because we can cane him off if we like, because he definitely doesn't listen anymore.
Exactly.
He never listened in the first place.
That's how low his commitment to the podcast was.
Well, most of our like website logins are still under his name though. That's
brilliant.
The funny thing.
Yeah, we need to sort that out. But, so Lawford was actually on 7 episodes, which is more than
I don't believe it. I do not believe it. There's no way that Lawford has been on 7 episodes.
He has. It's the only ones he wasn't, out of the very early ones, the only one he wasn't on was episode 3, where I filled in, and episode 8, where Faz filled in. He was on all the rest, and then from then on, he was gone. So he was on 7. And then, when it comes to us 3, in first place, with 46 episodes under their belt, is George James.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well done, George.
Unbelievable.
Well done, mate.
Because you
What do I win?
don't know, we'll let the fans decide that.
The fans don't like me.
A cup of jizz. Something like that. That seems suitable.
I mean, you didn't miss any episodes until like very, very recently.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And then in second place with 43 episodes, it's yourself, Rob, with
Is it? Has it got more than you? Is it?
Beating me by 2.
Oh, wow.
41. So
it's only those first couple. Well, it won't last.
Won't be long.
Yeah, it won't be long.
And then a nice little fact: our Valentine's Day episode is actually 69 minutes long. Hey, that wasn't even intentional.
Way. Is it really?
Unbelievable.
That's amazing. We're fucking geniuses.
And the Halloween one's episode 13.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, what's going on? Are we the best podcast?
I think so. I think that's what you've just said. I think what you.
But yeah, that is it.
Thanks, Tom. I didn't realise that we were in that order. I wouldn't have placed myself at the top in terms of appearances.
Oh yeah, that is what she said.
Not in terms of quality or
humour. Why would she say that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Thank you to everyone who's listened to us chat shit over the last 50 episodes. There are a very small amount of you who have listened to all the episodes and have.
I'd love to know. Do you think there are
fans out there?
Are there people that have listened to all 50 episodes? I'd love to know if there is.
Yeah, Inevitable Vegan Future, of course.
Yeah. Juppel Up, maybe. I think.
Juppel Up.
Turkish Glenn's probably listened to all of them, I reckon.
Maybe Buckles.
Yep.
Who's Buckles?
Buckles
definitely.
I can Buckles. Buckles, if you're listening.
All right,
you need to leave us a little review.
He knows who he is.
Let me know if you've listened to all of them by leaving a cryptic review.
Do I know who Buckles is?
You do know who Buckles is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know? We know who. You know that review, Martinez or whatever.
Oh yeah, Martino.
We know who that is.
Oh, we know who that is. Do we know who Mrs. Feet is?
No. But Martino's.
She got to DEFCON 10. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know, that's a good one. No, Martino's. It auto-generated him a username, and he doesn't know why. But yeah, we do know that. Okay.
And then shout out a relatively recent fan to Jimmy on YouTube. He
big ups, yeah.
Yeah, stumbled across our YouTube videos, I think because he was maybe looking for like Bigfoot videos or something. And he was
really bored. Yeah, really fucking bored.
No, and he went back and he listened to and watched like so many of the previous videos, and he's sticking with us. So
yeah,
shout out to Jimmy.
Massive big up to Jimmy. Yeah,
and Jimmy, if it's Bigfoot you're after, you've come to the right episode. All right, a little sneak preview. Oh shit!
Fuck. All right, I need to get through a few more of these beers.
Yeah.
Have you?
Do you know what? I didn't even get a story ready. I completely.
For fuck's sake! So you've got no stories.
I thought it'd be kind of funny, like to not.
I'll sell you one of mine.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I've got loads.
Yeah, well, I thought whatever. I'll just be the listener and the comment guy. That's my best at anyway.
Yeah. No.
pre-planning and like foresight. Not as good at that. What I do have to say though, before you get started on any new ones, I had some fucking, because I missed the last episode, right?
Yeah.
And I listened on my cycle to work this morning in the rain, the pissing rain, and I had a few comments, right?
For anyone who has forgotten last week's episode, it was the luckiest man, Frayne Selak, the man who had many brushes with death and survived many of them and won the lottery.
Very good episode, by the way.
Thank you.
Firstly, It's definitely not to be sniffed at, for fuck's sake. Like, there's no way it is in any way,
so
shape, or form
bored
not
of
to be
you.
sneezed at. It's just not, is it though? Like, it doesn't make any sense. When you like, it's not to be sniffed at something, you would go like, you know, like, like you know, you sort of like sniff, like maybe like exhale sniff. I guess
Yeah.
it's still probably a sniff. Like,
I thought so. Like I said, I think I said
when
it
you
on
have
that.
sneeze is an involuntary fucking thing. You can't sneeze at something through choice.
So, we've got one person at least agrees with me because we've got reviews saying.
Well, they're a fucking
nothing
idiot
to be
too.
sneezed at. And I'm pretty sure, like I said in the last episode, that it's a you know, like the cheesy bugs debate we had, cheesy bugs and
No, that's
bugs
different
and-
though. That's different
No,
because
I think it is, but it's not on like a regional thing. It's like a American
Like
thing. I think in America,
but this
sneeze
is not what all Americans are stupid. No, I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those.
Sorry, Jimmy.
No, I mean, that's basically what you're saying. Because I don't think
Maybe
that,
Jimmy's
by the way.
the Jimmy from
I don't-
episode 1. Hang on. Episode 1, Jimmy was the guy that had the meat fall on his roof. Jimmy, if
Ain't
you're
him.
a Jimmy from episode 1, let me know.
If it was like the cheesy bugs thing and that, like that's just you've come up with a name for something independently and it's sort of spread amongst your thing. This is just saying the wrong thing. This is a bon apple tea. You know, like the bone apple tea. This is one of them. Some people have got it wrong, and now it's just spread, and some other people also think the wrong thing. So if you fucking Google it, like I think you said, like if you look it up on the internet, it says it. Well, I can tell you anything. Like it says, we all know
Well,
there's
it's on-
lots
it's
of
on the
fucking shit on the
It's on
internet.
dictionary.cambridge.org.
Fuck off!
What more
It
do you
is.
want?
No, it fucking isn't.
It is. I'm looking at it right now. You can.
Well, I'm never using that for my Scrabble confirmations again.
Who fucking plays Scrabble?
I play Scrabble quite regularly, actually. You know.
You nerd.
Yeah, quite often we have our coffee and we have a game of Scrabble in the morning. I think it activates the brain.
Oh,
Nice.
sorry, Robert. Hey, I'm just going to look up now. Nothing to be sneezed at.
But there's no point looking it up anymore. I don't.
No, wait. It says Robert Oliver is a cunt. Well, that's all you need to know. isn't it,
Brilliant,
really?
yeah. All right, also that, I just had to fucking get that off my chest. I was raging cycling to work this morning, like, I was like, oh, fuck it off. It fucking isn't.
It's on the Oxford Dictionary and
Oh,
Cambridge
fuck
Dictionary
off. No,
website.
it is not.
It is.
No, it isn't. You're full of shit. You are
I'm putting
absolutely,
it in the
you are
WhatsApp group
absolutely
right now.
chatting shit.
Right, look.
There's
you can
no
look at
way
it.
it's on the Oxford, Cambridge.
It is. I've sent it to you.
No, I hope this is just a picture of your balls. I'll be much happier with it.
But then
on
also,
there,
nothing
I will
to be
say
sniffed
it
at
says-
is also there.
Yeah, I will say that it says, and the example is an extra $2,000 a year is nothing to sneeze at. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's an American,
And then-
the American version of sniffed at.
And then on the sniffed at, the example is a £2 million profit is nothing to be sniffed at.
Well, maybe, just maybe, George Janes, longest serving host of the Curios Cast, is correct. Who knows?
Cambridge
I mean,
Dictionary
whoa, weird.
need to check themselves with that. I'm really not sure about that. Fucking Cambridge, what do they know?
Anyway, you got anything else to mind?
Well, right, anything else? Other than that, it was a very good episode, right? And one thing, I personally had some comments on luck and unluck. Unluck. Well, I think it was maybe. I think maybe I haven't seen it, but I think it was Gina was telling me like Darren Brown's done a thing on it, maybe where like it's like it is definitely a state of mind.
It is.
Whether like you perceive whether or not you are lucky or unlucky, like, and it made me think of like I would consider myself to be quite lucky, but when I think about it, like you could easily take it the other way, like when my fucking wheel came off, right? It was pretty much like one of the things that happened to this guy. My wheel just came off driving 60 mile an hour down the M25. Pretty unlucky, some might say, but I considered it really fucking lucky that. Not only did my wheel not go off and like smash into someone else and cause a massive accident, I just drifted over into the fucking, which happened to be a fucking lorry parking bit there, and then my wheel just rolled next to me and I got to keep my nice VW hubcap. Like, I was like, that was lucky. But like someone could have easily taken that whole scenario and just moaned about it. I think there's someone we all know that would probably just moan about it. Yeah.
I was about to say, we all know someone in particular.
And it's like you just
would love to just moan at every aspect of their life.
Yeah, and it's just you sort of personify that and you create that and and I think this bloke, I'd love to know what he, like, there was no comment on, does he consider himself lucky or unlucky? Do we know?
I don't know.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know whether I wonder what he thinks, because I took from it, I think, pretty fucking lucky.
Probably
really.
lucky. Like the fact that I think, like it said that he spent a lot of his winnings from winning the lottery on a shrine to the Virgin Mary, implying that he
obviously feels himself as
deeply
lucky,
religious person. So he's probably, thinking there's someone out there looking out for me, keeping me safe, and probably doesn't consider it luck, but considers it, fate,
good
like
fortune
faith or something. Yeah,
good fortune at least. Yeah,
or like good karma. Maybe he's just a fucking stand-up guy who's always helping people out. Helping the old ladies cross the road and everything. And then when a plane does happen, and then that pilot who was on that plane,
he wouldn't fucking let him help me across the road.
All the 19 people that were on that plane that did die, they're all the people that are kicking old ladies across the road.
The sinners. Yeah, sinners.
You're in dangerous territory there. That's a bit Glenn Hoddle. Not quite the same. He had some controversial statements, didn't he?
Yeah.
But also, not luck. Fuck, what was I going to say there? I've drunk too much beer already. I've only had
Darren Brown?
Darren Brown. No, I was saying about me feeling lucky.
Did you feel lucky when you almost flipped your van as well?
No, but again, yeah, kind of like it could have actually rolled, but it didn't roll. Yeah, and my bike caught it really, which was fucking lucky, I think.
Your bike caught it.
Well, I feel that's what we think in hindsight happens, because my bike rack was all bent up, and I think it was the bike rack and shit getting caught on the like the bushes behind us that stopped
that
it.
Sort of balanced it.
Yeah, I think so. Which is fucking lucky.
Yeah. It's lucky you didn't have your herb supply stock at the back of the van, because that would have tipped right over.
What do you think I have? This like jar, like open,
just packed in the whole back of the van.
You said about that guy who buries barrels of food. He's got barrels strapped to the back.
Bury that herb supply. What else did I think of it? Oh yeah. Also, climbing trees, like fucking behave. Like I climb trees all the time. Like surely that's just normal. Like you're like acting like you're fucking. You have to be a child to climb trees.
Climbing trees all the time. It's going to be you, right?
Yeah. As soon as that came, I was like, come on, as if.
I haven't climbed a tree in ages.
Yeah, well, I get your one.
Climbing trees.
Yeah, I get your one. Yours was quite harrowing. I probably would also have been put off climbing trees. Yeah.
Whoa!
What did you call it?
I said PTS tree.
Oh right, PTS. Nice. But Tom, we fucking like saying you have to be a kid to climb trees. I climb trees every time I see a tree. There's a good climber. I am up
every time.
Yeah, sometimes if that's a good climber. I don't think you heard that part. Not just every tree. Every tree I see. Yeah. No, if it's a good climber, I'm having a go on it.
Good
sometimes
climber.
even I've noticed. Since I've started climbing, right? I don't know if you've heard that I do like climbing. Sometimes.
Yeah, you've not mentioned it.
Yeah, and I never really mentioned it, do I?
That music, I had no idea.
the trees that I can scale are so much different now.
Oh.
So previously, I've looked at a tree and thought, there's no way I can start that. But now I'm like,
I think that one might require a D12 ascent.
It's not a thing, mate. But what I might do is like hop up and then maybe do a Gaston to like.
Gaston.
Yeah.
Who's Gaston?
There might be a nice little crimp there that I can.
Oh yeah. Crimp me.
But yeah, anyway, climbing trees.
Yeah, I just don't really like. Yeah, I'm just not in that situation a lot of the times. I guess I'm not around a huge amount of trees, and
you are a city slicker.
Tom doesn't feel comfortable in the countryside. We established that with his story about not being able to order Just Eat. So
yeah, you are very much a city slicker.
Yeah.
Hay, was it piles of hay as well?
haystack.
I can't imagine like. You do see haystacks quite a lot.
You must see
haystacks.
Is it hay bales or like
individual hay bales? Yeah.
Ones?
But like, I don't know what you're on about, George. Like, it shocked me that you said you don't see haystacks. Like,
no. So I was talking about like
just a pile.
A pile. Like the sort of they're like a rounded topped.
Yeah.
Like
okay. Maybe that's quite old fashioned. They probably don't do that anymore. They probably bale them up and then because you see it quite often like a square of all the squares, and it's now put into a thing, and you can climb up and sit on them. Yeah, enjoy a nice sunset. You know.
Can climb up. We crimp them. Can you crimp them?
I I climbed up. My friend had his wedding the other day, and they did it like in like a barn, and obviously the farmer had like rearranged all the hay bales, and everyone was like sat on hay bales, and there was a big pile of them, and we was all in our suits and shit, and I was getting ready for the photos, and I just like climbed up all these hay bales.
Of course he did. Barefoot, probably.
George, listener of the podcast, Josh came up to me as well. Bassy Josh, you don't have a name, is he Bassy Josh?
Bassy Josh, yeah. I just kind of pressured you into giving him like a prefix in front of his name because all of your mates seem to. And as we kept Bassy Josh.
Bassy Josh.
Bassy Josh, Turkish Glenn, Groundworker Steve.
Yeah. Groundworker Steve's my favourite.
It's funny actually because when we were in college, he used to be known as Graveyard Steve, and he really hated it, and it got shortened to GY Steve. And there's some people, it's like maybe like one person that we still know who's like a bit of a fringe friend that you see like every now and then. He still calls him GY Steve, like because he never really sees it. Like there's like a combining of the friends, and they never really meet, but he's still in conversation because he knows he's funny now as well. He'll still refer to him as GY Steve, but it was because we used to hang out in graveyards a lot.
Why?
Because that sounds macabre.
Yeah, there's nothing to do other than look and mourn.
Other than nut and smoke weed.
Oh, okay.
And that's what we used to do. There were two graveyards. There was one by the college that we went to, which was and obviously there aren't many people in graveyards, which is really what you're aiming for.
Anyway.
Not alive ones, no. And you could go, but there was a bit. It wasn't like we like sat on gravestones. It sounds quite disrespectful on the face of it, no. But there was like a clearing. There was like a bit in the woods you could go to and go down this slope, and then you were like essentially in like a little wooded bit. It could have been like a woods, but you just happened to be a graveyard. But no one ever came in there, and we ended up like there were like these old benches when we first went there. No one knew who put them there. Like made out.
No one knows who puts benches anywhere.
No. As in, they weren't like actual benches. They were like made out of wood because it was like a clear
benches made out of wood.
Shut up! It was like
hang on. No, just explain that to me. Come on.
It was a clearing in the woods. Sorry, they're made out of like tree trunks. Sorry, that's what I should say. Some like stoner or some kids or someone had created this amazing little bench seating that sort of went round, right, and it was there for ages until one day. Turkish Glenn was there actually. It was Turkish Glenn's fault. He ruined the original legendary GY hangout. And we were like playing this like we used to like adventure course, and you had to like hop around and like like try and like get stuff. Try and like land on like I don't know, jump from one bit to another. I don't know what we were doing.
You're doing like a Ninja Warrior type thing.
Like a Ninja Warrior type thing. Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
like the floor is lava.
That kind of thing, yeah. More like
whilst high.
More like it whilst extremely high, like and he went and grabbed a bit, and it was like there was like this big log that used to sit in the middle that kind of held all the seating together, and he grabbed it, and the log just went dush, and it just gave way, and he landed like on his back, like holding the log in his hand. It was great, like. But then the fucking seating fell apart after that. It was never the same. And then I remember like years after college, we went back to like. Just see it.
Pay your respects.
Yeah, pay your respects to it. And it was like in Peter. It was like in Hook. When he goes back to his like burnt. He goes to like his thing. He's all burnt out, and it's kind of sad when you see the treehouse that he visited. Yeah. And she's like, Hook burned it out when you left. But then it was like someone had like made a fire and it was shit, and it was all kind of like, oh well, probably time I grow up.
Well, that's depressing.
I've watched Hook so many times.
I watch Hook all the time. I love Hook.
I watched it. I haven't watched it for a very long time, but it was one of those films that I had on video. So me and my brother used to just watch a video, just bung one in. We had one of those TV VHS combos. The VHS is in the TV. It was great.
Oh yeah.
And, amazing.
And at the time, it was like the TV was huge because it's a big old CRT one. But I bet the screen itself wasn't that big. But I remember in my mind. It was this massive TV.
Being absorbed in it.
Yeah. But, Hook was just one of those fucking films that we just put on all the time.
I had a double VHS that had Hook and Jumanji on it. And it's just like the ultimate.
That is the ultimate.
Double VHS.
Yeah. Not tried it.
Well, did you just have twice the amount of reel in it? And it's
guess so,
yeah. It's still the same size and everything. It just...
Yeah. It just had Hook and Jumanji on it. It was from like a bargain bin at... I can remember buying it with my mum at
Technology, man.
TK Maxx.
What will they come up with next? Double VHS.
I was gonna say, was it like sides, like a fucking
how you flip it over? But
tape,
surely,
because tapes had sides.
it just
didn't they?
played
But
one
wouldn't
after
work.
the other. So if you wanted to see Jumanji,
you have to
You have
fast
to
forward
rewind it,
all the way through.
you had to fast forward all the way through Hook.
Do you ever remember when you had to like track your video? Have you ever like it'd be like the tracking would be out, and you'd have to fast forward it all the way to the end, and then rewind it all to like do the tracking or something. It was weird.
Vaguely.
Well, I think like towards the end of VHS, they made like auto tracking VHS players, so you might have been out of that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I used to love the rewind sound of VHS tapes.
It was satisfying, wasn't it?
I always remember that TV that I just said about the buttons. The buttons were fucking huge, and like the button to turn it on and off, you had to push the button about a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches into the actual TV. Like it was just a big fat button that you push, and it just goes like you could push it an inch in and it wouldn't do anything until you push it that extra like half an inch or so. And I had the remote I was on the top bunk, so I had the remote up on the top bunk. My brother thought that we'd lost the remote, and I let him believe that just so he never would steal it. So I had the remote hidden in my pillowcase.
Classic brother in there.
And one day the film had finished, we wanted to go to sleep, and I said to him, I was like, "Oh, get up and turn the TV off." He's like, "No, you do it." Like, "No, you're on the bottom bunk. You do it." And he didn't want to do it. So I just and I didn't want him to know that I had the remote, obviously, to turn it off. So I got a sock. I rolled the sock up into a ball, and I threw it at the TV where the button would be, and then pressed the off button on the remote at the same time. And he was like, "How did you do that?" And I was like, "It was just a really good throw." And he's like, "No, because the button has to go in." I was like, I must have thrown it really hard. He was only about, I think he must have been about 5 or 6, and I was like 9 or 10. So obviously at that age, the disparity in your intellect is incredible. Like, you're so much smarter than them. Like, they're so stupid. And I remember that the next day he was trying to figure it out. He was standing there with a sock, like throwing it at the TV and like pushing it into the TV, trying to figure out how a sock turned off the TV. It's brilliant.
First, like, mind conundrum you gave him there as well.
He must have been thinking about it for years, because he asked me when he was in his mid to late teenagers, like teenage years, and he's like, "Do you remember when he was a kid and you threw that sock at the TV?" I was like, "Funny enough, I do remember that. I was really proud of that." And he's like, did you just have the remote?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I thought so."
I love that as one of his theories that eventually,
yeah.
So there's one thing that still puzzles me from when I was younger. My dad used to do this thing where actually it's got the story involves baked beans.
Whoa.
So Tom, Rosie will love it.
She loves baked beans.
So he used to, as like it was like a magic trick, right? So he'd say, "All right, if we had baked beans for dinner, he'd say, all right, eat your baked beans, quick, eat your baked beans, and I'll make one pop out of your belly button." I was like, "Okay, yeah." And I can remember him doing it. Like, he'd eat the bean, and then he'd like say, "Can you feel it going down your neck?" And he'd like tap your chest and say, "Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it coming out. Feel it coming out." And then he'd say, "Right, you ready? It's going to pop out your belly button." And he'd just put his hand like in front of my belly button, tap my belly, and a baked bean would come out my belly button. Like, legit. And I still don't know how he did it. It must have been like he had a clean
amazing.
bean in his, in his sleeve or something. But it still baffles me.
That's good.
It's great though. It's a really
I hope he
good,
never
like,
tells you either. I hope he never tells you.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'd like to be able to do it.
Pass it down.
Yeah, one day, but I'd prefer it if it was just a mystery, because I still don't know how he did it. But it's just great. It's always stuck with me, that.
That is good.
Yeah. Clean bean as well. So you must have gone and washed it.
Like suck the sauce
prepared
off.
it. Yeah.
The best magic trick I've ever seen was a guy at my uni, and he never told us how it was done. I suppose by now I could probably just Google it, but I don't know. I feel like magic tricks. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't Google good ones?
Of course you can.
I think a lot of really good ones maybe are kept a little bit in the
because it's like the whole magic circle. I wonder how the internet's fucked the magic circle. Yeah, because but anyway, I'm going to say this. Loads of people are going to probably Google it now, and it ruins it. But it was like fucking Basie Josh will remember this as well, and it fucked him up for ages. And this was before like he really wanted to know how to do it, and the guy would not tell us. I think maybe Basie Josh since then knows how it's done, but I might have remembered it wrong as well, and I might have made it better in my head, but I don't think so, right? You got a pack of cards, and we shuffled them. I swear we shuffled them, which is the mad bit, right? I swear we shuffled them. And then he goes, sorry, pardon me. And then he goes, that's going to happen a bit. And then he goes,
It's going to be quite a gassy episode, listen.
Yeah, sorry.
And then he says, I didn't correctly pour it out to break the bubbles in the glass like the beer sommelier told me, yeah. And then he said, there's a red pile and there's a black pile. And you say, which one's there? Red, there's black. Right, cool. And then he takes the cards and you go red and he goes red. And then you go black and he goes black. And you tell him where to put it and he puts it in. And halfway through he goes, now I'm going to switch now, and that's now the red and that's the black. So, and you're like, okay. And you tell him you're red, you can go red, and he puts them in the red pile, and you go black, and he goes black. And you keep doing that, and then he goes, right, cool. And then he stops and he turns them all over, and it's half red, half black one side, half red, half black one side.
I think I've seen that trick done before. I don't know how it's done.
And I swear I shuffled it. Like, I swear we shuffled it. And then you pass it back to him and he goes, let's start. Unless he has 2 packs of cards and he does a clever change.
Yeah.
Sleight of
But then I
hand.
still don't get it because you say red, red, black, and he does it.
Like you could just say red. You could be a right cunt, surely, and just say red.
And just say red the entire time. Yeah, in theory.
Yeah.
And I still feel like it would work.
That's a good trick.
Get him on.
Great trick. Get him on. I'm not sure I remember his name. What was his name? His name was Luke.
What's the biggest animal you reckon you could take in a fight?
That's a classic fucking. Well, did you talk about that recently? Did you talk about that in the last episode or something? I feel like I've heard someone talk about this recently.
No, we used to talk about it all the time.
No.
Yeah, I know.
This was like a classic question we used to speak to each other about with Lawford.
I know it was.
At our prior
with our mutual friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys maybe talk about it before the actual episode started?
We've this question's been asked.
I know this has come up recently in something I was listening to like the other day.
I could fight a penguin.
Okay, so I've got a list here.
Okay.
Right?
Punch a penguin. He'd be off balance. Fuck him. He's down.
A penguin. That's like no question. You could fuck up a penguin.
What about an emperor penguin? And
like,
once you've knocked it over, would you pick up a penguin?
Fuck off.
Oh, come on. Come on.
The question is not whether you could win a fight unscathed. So it's just, say you both were in the fucking octagon together, you know.
Okay. Weapons or no weapons?
No weapons. It's just you and, you know, you're naked. Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe you got some shorts or pants on or whatever.
Can I not have a little?
And the animal.
Maybe I was just watching a podcast where they spoke about it or something the other day, and like some of the people's answers were just outrageous. It was like you ain't beating that.
Well, so I've got a YouGov poll here where they polled both.
YouGov.
Yeah, YouGov done this. They polled. So
such deja vu.
They need to. They've got bigger things to worry about at the moment, right?
Maybe did we speak about this at work or something? I got a fucking.
We've spoke about it quite often.
Like, okay, yeah.
But never.
But this specifically, like this YouGov poll and that.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I've had this saved for quite a while, so maybe I have. But they asked British people and American people, and then they've broken it down into men, women, Americans, and British people, and they've said basically, could you beat this animal in a fight? And it's a yes, no. Unsurprisingly, the men think they can take more than the women can, and unsurprisingly, the Americans think they can take more than the British can. So I want to see do you think you could beat a rat in a fight?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised to know that only in total, this is British people actually. Only 67% of British people that were polled think they can take a rat in a fight.
Is this like a fight to the death, or like for some like you tap out or something? Like what are we saying? What are the grounds of the fight?
The question is phrased like this: which of the following animals do you think you could beat in a fight if you were unarmed?
Okay,
why is this on YouGov?
So
only 67%. Now, this is.
It's quite surprising, yeah.
Even when you like the most confident, the British were more confident with this than the Americans were. Only 77% of British men think they can take a rat.
I could take a rat on a
yeah.
People are having a laugh for that. People are having a laugh answering that question wrong.
Mad,
surely,
yeah.
Like.
Unless when they like interpreted unarmed as in you don't have any arms. But even then, I feel like if you chop my arms off, I could still. Even if you chop my arms off 2 seconds ago, I could still beat a rat if I had to.
Yeah, and but I mean, let's say, I guess in what circumstances is this rat like is it like mad pissed off at you, or like you in like an arena and the rat can't escape? Because normally you'd start fighting a rat and there's no fight, the rat's gone. You know,
no,
like,
it wants to fight you.
it wants to fuck you up. Okay, well then. You think about it though, a rat will fuck you up probably.
But you're still
like it's fast. No, but it's fast, and like a rat's like you might be like trying to go for it, and it's like running up you, and like
you're a pussy, mate.
And then it's running up you, and like biting you in the face. This is what made these people considered. Like,
no question, I would win in a.
I mean, you get one kick on it, and it's fucked. You get one kick on it, it's fucked. Yeah.
If any, like,
but it's hard to kick a rat. Probably, I imagine it's really hard to kick a rat.
I bet it's easy.
I bet it ain't.
Easy.
Maybe you've got like a Tom and Jerry broom or something. You know, like
it has to be a Tom and Jerry one.
If you're just trying to kick it, that's hard, mate.
Okay, what about
Sorry, go ahead.
What about a house cat?
Ooh. Definitely fuck up a cat. I'm not a cat. I mean, a cat is a mean motherfucker.
Yeah, you won't come out of it. You'll have some scratches
you will
on
get, you. will get fucked up,
but you'll win. That cat will be dead.
Yeah.
Buckles is he had got a cat when it was a kitten. He used to come in completely fucked just from like playing with the cat.
Who is this person? I don't.
You know who Buckles is?
I'm sure we could say like Raiku's.
Raikou
father.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why are they Buckles?
Because that's his name.
Is that their username?
No.
I'll tell you after the podcast.
Okay.
But the clue is in his name, literally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about
thinking Raiku's father was someone else?
Okay.
Sorry.
So the house cat.
How many Raikus do you know?
No, I'm thinking of Salem, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh no, not him. He could fuck up anything. He's invincible.
So the house cat result was only 1% less than the rat. So 67% could take a rat, but only 66 could take a house cat. Like
I think I'd find less pleasure in fighting a house cat. You know, a rat I wouldn't really feel too bad about punching.
Yeah, but let's assume that they've consented. Let's assume they've consented and they are. They understand the premise of the fight.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what's weird? I would feel less guilty if the cat was speaking to me, like in a human voice.
Yeah.
You know, if it was like...
It seems less innocent.
Yeah, fucking come on, you can't. Like that, you know?
Yeah, that would be good.
If it was standing on its hind legs,
yeah,
like,
standing on its
with
hind
his
legs.
paws motioning, come here, go on, I'll have you. Putting his fists up.
Yeah.
What about a goose?
They're breaker man. Oh no, swans breaker man's arm.
Swan breaker man's are also not true, but that's what people say.
Yeah.
A goose. I reckon I could fight a goose.
I reckon so.
But they can be quite scary, geese.
They are fucking scary. There's no two ways about that, but I would fuck a goose up,
yeah.
Yeah. Grab it by the neck. I mean, once you got it by the neck, you don't ring it.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier to fuck up a goose in less time than I would a rat.
Or a cat, because
you could a rat could tie you out. You could be running around in circles with a rat for ages before you even get a swing on.
Nah, fuck him. I'd have the rat.
Goose comes at you. Goose comes at you. You just grab it by the neck and just dush it in the head a few times.
Yeah, dush it.
So a goose is one of the results that has the biggest disparity as to whether a man or a woman thinks they could take it. So
I reckon more women say yes.
No. 58% of men said yes, but then only 32% of women said yes. So like
surprisingly
the
low.
gap
Is this
pretty big?
English or American men now?
They're Britons.
Do Americans even know what a goose is?
Probably.
Do they have geese?
They have geese.
Okay.
But yeah,
Canadian
so
geese.
Americans compared to Britons, on average, 45% of Britons said they could, but 61% of Americans said they could.
Of course, they
there's
probably
a
thought
big
they'd ever. When I got my sidearm one,
I feel like that. Well, so when it's these smaller animals, I'm kind of surprised at how low the British. think
it's
they
bizarre.
Would fare in a
What do
fight.
Yeah.
But then when it starts getting onto the bigger animals, the British are making sense here, and then the Americans are just delusional as to think they can take on these big animals. But what about a medium-sized dog? It's not a
Wait, I'm not sure about the. Yeah, I don't quite understand what people mean when they say medium-sized dog. What give
like
me
a Labrador?
Yeah,
a Labrador?
like a big dog is like a Saint Bernard or a Great Dane or something. Small dog.
But you say Labrador, and I think I'll fuck up a Labrador. I feel really bad about it.
But with your bare hands, I don't think you would. I think people you'd be surprised.
Oh no, easy.
I mean, you say Labrador, and you think I'll fuck that up. But you could also say What, like German Shepherd?
Yeah, true, actually.
Yeah,
German Shepherd will fuck you up.
No, I reckon you still could.
You still...
As long as you can get behind it, as long as you, even if it bites your arm, if you can, you're so much... Like,
you seen a German Shepherd attack someone like on a police dog? They fucking...
Yeah, but those people aren't trying to fight back. They're trying to lay there and like not
exactly
either run away or lay on the floor. If you're trying to fight back, you could take
if a Labrador wanted to tear you up,
probably would, yeah.
It would tear you up.
Yeah,
there's no question.
No, it would hurt, and I'd be a little bit fucked, but I'd still walk out the winner.
But how? How are you gonna? It's got sharp teeth. You haven't got sharp teeth.
I feel it's a bit bleak going into details on how I'd kill a dog, but like, say it bites your arm, it's holding onto your arm. I still am much stronger than it. I can lift the whole fucking thing up in the air. Like, it's biting my arm. I could still just put my arm underneath it, lift the whole fucking thing up, and just
if you manage to do that though, like a German Shepherd is powerful.
Yeah, but they can't. They're not more powerful against gravity. I'll fucking throw it up in the air.
Yeah, but you got to get it first. Yeah, you got to get it. You got to get it.
What?
It's biting you. It hurts.
Its teeth are on your arm, so your arm, you're not going to be able to throw it because
it's mauling you. It's grabbing you.
Slam it down. Hulk smash.
Yeah, but you got to lift it up first. It's grabbing you and it hurts. It's biting your arm and it's locking it and it really hurts and you're trying to pick it up and it's coming for your throat.
It's gonna hurt. I didn't say I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna have to have a tetanus shot.
Yeah, most fucked up so far. I knew a guy who. I mean, this is quite a tertiary acquaintance. I must add.
Good word.
Who fucked up a police dog, and he fucked a police dog. He fucked up a police dog. He punched a police dog a few times. It's not our mutual friend
who got fucked up by a police dog, is it?
No, it's not. No. It's also he lost that fight.
Yeah. He can't fight anything. He can't fight any. He couldn't fight a rat.
Isn't he like a black belt in?
He could, but he wouldn't.
Yeah,
he wouldn't.
Exactly, he wouldn't. Yeah. No, but this guy is a bit of a head case by all accounts. I think he'd stolen a motorbike or something and got chased down by the police, and then they set the police dogs on him, and he like punched the police dog up. Like, he was a massive dude as well, and I think he got done for assaulting a police officer.
Yeah, they count as police officers, don't they? Police dogs.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, he went to prison for it.
What about an eagle?
Yeah, I'd have more chance against an eagle than a dog.
Because what sort of eagle though? What
talons will rip you apart.
What sort of eagle? There are many eagles.
It just says eagle.
Like, have you seen that really bleak David Attenborough thing where there's like a eagle and they're like picking up monkeys, and then you see him like devouring like a monkey's arm, and it looks so much like a human arm. It's fucking horrible to watch. One of those eagles, God, I don't know, mate. They're massive. They are massive.
Have you seen a harpy eagle?
Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know, but harpy eagles are pretty like intense looking. I think they might be the biggest wingspan eagles in.
Could be that thing. There was a bleak, which like a lot of people like. I love when a lot of people like complain to the BBC about like them showing nature, like, but people complained about it because it was like monkeys getting torn apart and like you saw their like little monkey hands and stuff.
Monkeys are pieces of shit, though, aren't they? Monkeys,
monkeys are pieces of shit. Though,
yeah. They look right, nice and cuddly.
I saw a video of a monkey ripping a man's scalp off. Like a week ago or something.
Oh,
like
Jesus
a chimp.
Christ.
If chimp's on this list, I'm not even getting into the.
It is harpy eagles, George. Yeah.
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 I don't know if it is. I've just looked it up, harpy eagle, and it didn't look like the eagle that I meant. It's like this really mental looking one.
So I reckon I could take an eagle. If it swoops at you, like its plan is it's going to swoop down, and as long as it doesn't scratch your like eyes, your throat, or like that really important vein in your wrist, then you're fine, right? So
that really important vein in your wrist.
Let it swoop. You got to just try and grab it. I know they go quick, but you got to just fucking punch it out of the air or something. Avoid the talons, and it's done. Once you've got any kind of hand on it, it's done for.
Yeah,
the bones are all hollow. They're just like you smack it on the floor once, it's done for.
When I was younger, I went to a. You might have gone there, Rob. Wat Tyler Park. Been to Wat Tyler Park?
Many a time, mate. Many a time.
So I had like a birthday party there, and they had owls and stuff that you could hold.
An owl.
An owl, yeah.
Owl.
What do you mean?
Owl.
owl.
Which is
Owl. It's not an owl, is it? It's owl.
No, they had owls.
Owl.
Yeah, owl.
Multiple owls. What are you
You
talking about?
ain't watched Phone Shop, have you?
No, and I've had a few of these.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I held like what's the one out of Harry Potter? Like a barn owl, I guess.
A hippogriff.
Or a snowy owl. Hippogriff. I held a hippogriff. And like I don't think I could. I think I'd have to think twice about fighting an owl. So I guess an eagle is similar, if not more aggressive than an owl.
Yeah, man. Fucking.
So they're pretty big. They're pretty hefty. Like their talons are big.
I'm not sure about that.
Still win.
Big up What Tyler, by the way. We did a New Year's Eve party at What Tyler once. Hired out one of the barns. One of the most like organised things me and my friends ever did for a party. Hired out a barn, all chipped in the money. Set up music and did like, we called it grungeroke. We like learnt a load of like Limp Bizkit songs and like Papa Roach and stuff, and our friends sang them.
Did my work experience at school at Wat Tyler Park.
Shout out to What Tyler Park.
Great place.
So I've looked into
Right, next.
I've looked into the details of this YouGov poll, and basically the people who were questioned had three options. It was I could beat this animal in a fight, I couldn't, and then don't know. So the numbers that I'm giving you are the people that said they could, and the rest either say they don't know or they couldn't. So, for example, the rat, if you look at, they also break it down by age. So, as you'd expect, sort of like 18 to 24's pretty confident. Then people get a bit more confident, 25 to 34, I guess because you're bigger, like an 18-year-old, maybe a little bit less confident. Once you get older, a bit more, and then it drops off the older that you get from there on. But,
okay.
You know.
Yeah, I'm less confident. If I had to give my like percentages against the eagle, don't know. It's most of my confidence is starting to dwindle.
I think I'd rather fight an eagle than a dog. Put it that way.
An eagle?
I would,
yeah,
just
maybe.
because I'm...
I'd rather
feel
fight an
sorry
eagle
for a dog. I wouldn't feel sorry for an eagle. But
I'd rather fight... No, but still, I think I've got more chances. We're ruling out compassion. I think I've got more chances against an eagle than I have a dog. Like, you'll come out less scathed, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Give me what's a weird one? Give me an interesting one.
Well, I'll go down. So the next one's large dog. We won't bother discussing that because obviously that's just similar to a dog but a bit harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one's chimpanzee.
No way.
Yeah, 10% of Britons reckon they could.
Bullshit.
I don't think I could.
Absolutely no way. You seen that horrible thing where that woman had her face ripped off by one?
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah, I reckon she wasn't fighting back that hard though. I reckon I'd...
She probably wasn't.
Would you?
Fuck that.
No.
I've got to apologise, by the way. I'm pretty sure I just accidentally nudged my camera because I nudged the lead and then I know that's going to fuck you up more than anyone, but anyone watching on the YouTube is probably like, his camera angle's wildly different now. But.
A lot of, what is it? The Americans, 15% of Americans, that's 15% of British men. Americans, chimpanzee, 17%. I think they could
Bullshit.
take it.
No way.
10% of British and 17% of Americans.
You ain't beating a chimpanzee, not for shit.
No.
I'd have my concealed carry at 45.
Now, the next one, I think, is actually, I'd rather fight this than a chimpanzee. King Cobra.
I'd rather fight anything than a chimpanzee.
The King Cobra.
Maybe not a bear. King Cobra, yeah, fucking...
Yeah, definitely rather fight one of them than a chimp, 100%.
Yeah. A King Cobra, though, the most likely outcome is, say we both walk into the octagon. He doesn't walk, he slivers. But like we both go into the octagon. I walk out, he's dead, and then I drop down dead about 30 seconds later because I've been poisoned or whatever. Like, because there's a good chance he gets me, he bites my arm, I smash the fuck out of him on the floor, he's dead.
Yeah.
So he died first. Technically, I won. But then I died.
Yeah. I'd get him in a little basket, right? And then
play
charm
the flute
him. Play the flute, and he'd come up. Which is actually legit. That's a real thing.
That is the thing.
I always thought it was something out of a cartoon or.
Is King Cobra poison? Does it like rapidly like take you over and paralyze you or something? Doesn't it? And it like
I think so. Yeah.
I think.
I've seen a video where this guy's got a wine glass with blood in it.
I've seen that. Yeah,
and they put one drop of I don't know if it's a King Cobra, but one type of some kind of snake poison in there. I don't know what the difference is between poison and venom. I think it's venom, but he swishes it about, and instantly within like 20 seconds, the blood is coagulated into like jelly. Like, mad. The next one is a kangaroo.
I'd rather fight that than a chimp as well.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I know
have you seen that
they
video of
box
the
you
guy
up.
punching a kangaroo?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
video.
yeah. When he like attacks his dog, so he goes.
Yeah,
boxes
I think
it. Yeah.
to succeed against a kangaroo, though, you need to be Australian. I think that's part of the.
Probably is a big part of it. Yeah, I want to know what the Australians say, but it'd be interesting to know what the Australians' percentage is compared to. What do English and the Americans say about that?
British said 5, and American 5% of British said and 14% of Americans.
5 is quite low. I thought more people would fancy themselves against a kangaroo.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you give any Australian a couple of drinks, they'd fight anything. Right.
Now it's getting pretty tough. Next one we got is a wolf.
No
fuck
chance.
off! There's no
chance.
way. Like there's no way that someone would come off better against a wolf barehanded. They're not gonna. There's no way.
No chance. Not a chance now.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think wolves are bigger than what people picture in their
Wolves
mind.
are fucking massive,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Now this one, I'm going to be controversial
Crocodile?
here. I think I could win against a crocodile
Is it on land or is
Why
it in
the
the
fuck
water?
do you think that?
because I've watched a lot of videos of people fighting crocodiles.
Oh right, well, there you go then.
And
There you go. Must be an expert.
basically, but I've seen people do it, so I know it's possible, and I know how to do it. I've seen the technique.
Is it a saltwater crocodile?
I've watched
or a-
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, I actually watched a bit of Crocodile Dundee 2 the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great films that.
But so with crocodiles, I don't actually know like if I'm talking about crocodiles or alligators here. I'm just gonna bundle them all into one. But they've got they're very quick. They can charge, but they can only charge for a very short distance. They charge like 10 feet or so, and then they're done for. They're out of energy. They charge. They haven't got their thing. They're just like fucking. They're chill, and they are very like slow to turn around or whatever. If you can get behind one and get on top of it,
Jump off its back.
yeah. And also, you've probably heard that crocodiles have like a crazy amount of bite down power. People say they can crack a bowling ball or whatever.
But the other way, not so much.
Exactly. Their muscles that open their mouth are so weak that you could literally hold its mouth closed with like 2 fingers and it wouldn't be able to open it because the muscles that open its mouth are just they're pussy muscles. Like they're so weak. But the bite down muscles. So as long as you can get its snout, and then
Is that what it's called?
But then what? But then but a crocodile must take a right old beating. You could be boxing that in the head.
in its belly.
Yeah.
And then so you poke its eyes out first of all, can't see, now it's fucked. And then just punch the shit out of its belly until it's dead.
That'll take you a long time, I think. A crocodile take a right old beating.
It ain't gonna get me because I'm gonna.
Yeah, but they're fucking
but how are
massive
you?
as well.
Yeah, so you're holding it shut,
yeah.
and then what? With one arm,
And then I flip it on its belly, and then what I do is I stand.
doofing it.
I stand.
Doofing
it. He's laying on his back. I stand on his snout, like on underneath his chin, basically.
Once he's on his back, he's quite fucked, I think.
Yeah.
No, but they can flash. They death roll. They death roll. You're
Death roll. Yeah, that'd be tough.
and he'll
That's why
like
as soon as you
throwing
can,
you
you
off.
poke
Yeah.
his eyes out.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop the death roll.
Yeah, but then
I
he
don't
death rolls and he doesn't know where I am. It's not like he's Daredevil. He can't.
Yeah, but he death rolls if he's got you. He doesn't just death roll for the sake of it. He doesn't death roll if
No,
he hasn't got anything in his
he would
mouth.
probably death roll to escape. If I had his mouth closed up, he might
and you
death roll
flipped
to
him, he'll,
escape because I've seen that.
But there's no way. I tell you what, there's no way. If you're holding onto a crocodile's snout and he death rolls, there's no way you're still holding onto that snout.
If I'm wrapped around him, yeah, what I'd do is I'd come from behind, jump on his head.
Yeah? Do you come from behind often?
Yeah, come from behind, and I'll jump on the back of his head, like I'm on his shoulders, basically. He's giving me a piggyback, and I'm holding his mouth closed.
In Jumanji, he wrestles an alligator, doesn't he?
Yeah, I reckon if I go in there with a few beers as well, I've got a better chance.
Yeah, he jumps off the thing in Jumanji, and it probably moistens her up, doesn't it? When he's like, she's like,
Oh, at the end when it's the jungle inside the house.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, you wrestled an alligator for me, and he's like, whatever, standard. Yeah.
So what about the
different
next
sort.
one? So the next few are just ridiculous. Gorilla, obviously
No way.
Obviously not
Yeah.
chance in hell.
but still, so 2% of the British think they could take it. 6% of Americans.
Fucking Americans.
I know.
How many? Do we know how large this survey was?
It's like a couple thousand people.
So there's quite a lot of people that think they could
Anyway,
beat
so
a gorilla.
I might be able to see the exact amount of Americans that said they could beat a gorilla. Let's have a little look. Gorilla I could beat this animal in a fight. Oh no, wait, that's goose. Why is this? Oh, it doesn't matter. But here we go, gorilla. 2% out of. Oh, I don't know. It's all. That graph's too confusing to look at. I'll have the graph on the screen, and sober people can look at that. The next one after gorilla is grizzly bear.
Fuck off. Grizzly bear is the one animal that I'm.
Oh no, sorry, that wasn't
scared
next.
of. Like bears.
Grizzly bear is the.
There's no way. Has someone said that they'd beat a grizzly bear?
6% of Americans, which surprises me because Americans are more accustomed to bears than British people are. So I wouldn't be surprised if like a British person was like, "Oh yeah, grizzly bear, I could take it or whatever." But Americans should surely know you don't try it with a grizzly bear.
Yeah, I mean,
a black bear maybe, but grizzly bear, nah.
Absolutely no.
Black bears
chance.
are the ones you're supposed to punch, aren't they?
Yeah, black bears. I mean, either one. I think if it wanted to kill you, it could.
What's this advice?
Yeah,
you're supposed to punch.
Yeah, so if you
black bears
are scared of people. Like black bear.
Yeah,
if you see a black bear,
if you fight back,
you need to like make yourself big, go rah, get away, and like if it gets close, you hit it, and it will most likely run away. Like they are very timid. But a grizzly bear,
if you need to play dead,
if it sees
and
you,
hope you're still alive after it starts fucking
eating you alive.
Basically,
like they will. Yeah, grizzly bear will fuck you up.
If it sees you, you're fucked. Basically.
I think I've seen videos of people like down a hiking trail and there's a grizzly bear and they basically just try and slowly walk away, don't make any sudden movements, like slowly walk backwards, don't break eye contact and just hope it isn't hungry basically. But if it's hungry or its cubs are nearby, you're dead.
You're fucked, mate.
Yeah.
I met a Canadian guy once who told me, if like you meet a grizzly bear, you need to just go into like the fetal position, cover up your belly because obviously that's your most vulnerable part.
Yeah.
So just lay on the floor and then just pray that it just leaves you alone. He said. So I said, well, so what do you do then? He said, well, you're going to get fucked up, but you might be alive at the end. You know, it's going to rip your back open and probably claw at your neck and stuff.
Hopefully you've got a backpack on or something.
Hopefully. But it's just like grizzly bears just terrify me. Any sort of bear, I'd shit my pants immediately.
Have you seen is it the Revenant, that like intense Leonardo DiCaprio film? That bear fucks him up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And is that bit, it's just like on him and it's just like...
Which is a true story, by the way.
That
actually happened.
Is it really?
I do wonder how it's one of those stories that it happened in like 1873 or whatever, and it's how true is it? Like obviously like the is it could have been indulged over time.
It's been documented that it is true. Like the bear aspect of it, like he got the revenge bit. You know, he didn't like kill the guy at the end. He actually let him go, but he actually got attacked by a bear. And crawled.
But I wonder how fucked up he actually was. Like, he might have been ripped open, but in the film, he is like,
Cunted.
Yeah, you see like his fucking ribs and everything. Like, he's fucked.
Well, I think if a bear has a go at you, your ribs are.
Yeah, probably.
Your ribs are open.
Anyway, the other two on this list are lion and elephant, and they both have the same 2% of British and 8% of Americans, so they could take him.
Kid Americans, they probably think that they can still have a concealed carry gun.
Well, they just assume that's standard procedure. Like, obviously, I'd have my gun on me.
Yeah.
What scenario would I ever not have my gun on me?
I'd love to see someone have a fist fight with an elephant. Wouldn't that be funny? Like just the immediate turnaround in fortune for the person.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great. Isn't there like a animated series that like pits things against things? It was like a shit TV show, and it was like, let's see what happens if a dolphin fights a whale. You know, like, or let's see what happens if and they do like a.
There is a YouTube channel that does this, I think.
It was like a TV show or maybe it's a YouTube channel. Maybe it's a YouTube channel.
Because there's a. Or is it? I can't remember if it was like a subreddit or if it's like a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it's a YouTube channel. Yeah, and basically, yeah, what would win, this or this? And they
talk about it.
Yeah, they asked their fans for suggestions, and the top voted suggestion was what would win, 1 billion lions or the sun. And they actually done a really in-depth video on what would win, lions or the sun, and they're breaking it down. Well, you see the lions, their teeth and their muscles and stuff. It's the sun doesn't have any muscles. The sun doesn't have any teeth, but the sun. And then they're breaking down why the sun would win, and then they came to the conclusion that the sun would win. And then they said, okay, well, let's scale it up. What about 1 trillion lions? And they basically tried to work out how many lions it would take to destroy the sun. If you had because a trillion is a huge, when you see those those scale pictures where it's this is what $1 million looks like, and it's a briefcase of money. It's this is what a billion looks like, and you're like, wow, that is actually a big difference. And a trillion, it's huge. And then so they've done that with lions, and you see what a trillion lions looks like to scale, and you think, fuck, that is a huge amount of lions, and it's basically insignificant to the sun, obviously. They said if you had a trillion lions, put them into a ball and just managed to throw it into the sun, there wouldn't be any splash. Obviously, it's not liquid, but there wouldn't be no solar flare, or it's it wouldn't even be there at all. So they tried to work out how many lions it would take to extinguish the sun. And I can't remember how many it was, but obviously something ridiculous.
To the power of something.
Solid at some point, or is it just gas and
I think it is just gas. It might be some kind of core. I'm pretty sure
it's one of those classic Curios does science.
I'm very certain it's mostly just hydrogen and helium.
If we've got any physicists listening to the podcast, please email in. Because it's one other thing, Rob.
Physicists listening, go on.
One thing I've always wondered is whether Uranus is full of gas.
You're a fucking idiot.
No. No, but legit, Uranus and what's the other one? What's the other gas giant?
No.
Neptune. No, Neptune and Uranus. They haven't got a solid core, have they? They're just completely liquid. They're like a gas.
Yeah, I think it's just how dense they are. So but
it's so dense that you could walk on it.
No.
Yeah, the center of Uranus.
So then that would be solid then.
Yeah, but it's not solid because it's a gas. It's not like a
so you wouldn't be able to walk. You just kind of float.
No, but you'd be walking on it because it's so dense.
Well, no, it's not. It's not because there wouldn't be a line that separates.
Tom,
no.
What I'm saying is Uranus is so compacted.
You're a fucking idiot. Right. Anyway, I was right about the sun. It's 91% hydrogen, 9% helium.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's a core though. Might bother to look.
Do you know what? We're an hour in almost, and we haven't mentioned one weird news story.
No, and I didn't even finish talking about my comments on your episode.
I thought you were done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I was kind of done. But
come on.
Well, the only thing I had to add was a falling story.
It's fucking better be good.
We were talking about how high people have fallen from.
Oh yeah.
And it's not it pales in significance to what you talk about. But I do have a friend that fell 40 foot by just forgetting to something happened. There was a the true what happened. I'm not quite sure. Is it still muddy? But basically he went to abseil off a rock thing, place where we go climbing. And
no, you went. Did you climb?
I wasn't there at the time. This is before I climbed actually. And it was raining, it was wet, so he didn't want to climb back down or something like that because it didn't seem safe. So it was safer to abseil down, and he went to abseil down and then didn't realise he just hadn't tied himself in. So just basically
it's quite important.
Stepped backwards off a fucking 40-foot thing and just douche. Imagine that feeling, realising that he hadn't. Yeah, and he just and he landed on his feet. And then which compressed his spine. Apparently landed his feet and obviously then fell on the floor and straight away stood up and was stood up as well. And everyone was he was like, someone give me a fag.
Was he okay though?
You what?
What happened? Did he break his ankles or something?
Broke his spine, compressed all his spine, like fucked all his spine up.
Fuck.
It was like, I had to have like a metal plate in his back and shit, and kind of got like PTSD from it, really.
Yeah.
But he's climbing again. He's a sick man. He's a sick climber as well.
Well, Rob's mate, make sure you crimp and make sure you Gaston or whatever.
Yeah, when we go to that place, he doesn't want to do that rock.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Unsurprisingly, yeah. And he's just and he's just like, I don't like being near it. And I'm like, yeah, mate, I don't fucking blame you.
So he stood back up when he hit the ground. He stood back up.
Stood up apparently, like out of like sheer, like kind of like shock and
adrenaline.
Yeah,
going crazy.
It's mad that he didn't break his ankles or break his legs if he landed on his.
It was his back.
Basically on his
It was his back that broke. It's mad, isn't it?
Bend your legs, right?
What did he land on? Was it like rock or was it grass?
No, it's like fucking like dirt, muddy, clay kind of floor, like
mad.
Yeah,
not great.
Yeah.
All right, I think that was my only remaining comment on it.
Thank you for listening to part 1 of the Curios Cast, episode 50. This episode is brought to you by us, asking you to leave a review and tell your friends about us. We're not big enough to have actual sponsors. I didn't think leaving reviews would help that much, but quite a few of you have been kind enough to leave reviews over the past couple of weeks, and because of that, we're actually ranked 242nd in the Apple Podcast comedy chart in the Netherlands. Proper big time now, aren't we? So if you've made it this far in, we ask you just to take 30 seconds of your time to chuck us 5 stars and write something nice. We'll go back to part 2 now, where we bring out some standard Curios Cast weird news stories. There's Bigfoot, there's poo, and we get through quite a bit more beer. Enjoy. What weird news have you got then? Well, George, really.
Well, we know Rob hasn't got fuck all. So I've got quite a few. I think that we'd spoken about, what we'd spoken about before, Tom, was that we've got lots of stupid little bullshit ones that aren't really funny, maybe, but so we've all saved them up for a special occasion.
So you're going to read them all out.
So I'm not going to do like a classic George and read out 16 headlines and you need to choose the funniest one. I'm just going to go in with one and maybe you can do one and we'll go from there. But my first one, I thought I'd return with a Bigfoot story because we've not had a Bigfoot story in, I think...
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty well.
I don't think we've had a Bigfoot story since the UK Bigfoot we spoke about, which people are loving on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. No, actually, Jimmy liked the Oklahoma one. Sorry.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, Jimmy, I expected better, but...
Someone did comment.
Anyway.
Carry on, I'll find a comment.
Yeah, there was a comment on the England one. It was really in-depth about someone having experiences.
Yeah.
Anyway. So my first story is the headline. Rob, also... before I say anything, do you want to guess what news publication this is from?
Daily Mail? Daily Star?
Daily Star, the old classic, the Curios classic. Right, so this is, I saw 2 Bigfoot creatures fight and it was so terrifying I wet myself.
Jeez.
A bow hunter in the United States. Fucking surprising, isn't it?
Shout out Joe Rogan.
Yeah. He shared his story of running for his life from a huge Bigfoot creature before supposedly hearing a terrifying clash between 2 massive beasts at a nearby river.
Wait. So hearing a terrifying clash between 2 massive beasts at a nearby river. So like he just heard and he knew that's what it was. That is the sound of 2 terrifying beasts having a clash at a nearby river.
What does a clash involve? Fist fight?
Rutting of some kind, yeah.
Ooh, rutting. Any kind of altercation, right?
Yeah. So a man has recalled the chilling encounter he had with a gigantic Bigfoot in the dead of night. A bow hunter known as Mark has shared his story of supposedly coming within. I'm going to say it's Mark for the sake of.
From now on, when you're referring to me in the third person, you just be like, "Oh yeah, my mate, this guy I do a podcast with, known as Tom."
So he shared his story of supposedly coming within close range of not only 1 but 2 Bigfoot creatures, which he claimed he heard fighting. Speaking on the Sasquatch Stories podcast, which I'm definitely going to give a listen.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mark recalled how he was out hunting with a friend when they spotted a mysterious-looking figure in the distance, saying, "It's not a bear, because we know what bears look like." I mean, everyone knows what bears look like. Mm-hmm. As the creature started to approach them, Mark confessed that their fear was palpable. "I looked up and my buddy was peeing himself. I can hear it hitting the rocks, and I looked down on myself, and I already soaked my pants," he added. Mark explained that the pair then sprinted to a viewing stand in the trees, where the encounter escalated to a terrifying crescendo. He said, "Off to the right of us towards the river, we heard something else making crazy-ass noises. Something was going down there. Lots of fighting, and I mean it sounded like two T-Rexes going at it.
I was going to say, what did he say?
Branches were snapping. You could hear hollering and growling." I mean, this could have been bears, right? He's literally not seen
what bears
the
look
Bigfoot.
Like. I guess they also know what bears sound like, yeah.
Seconds later, you could hear something running off. It jumped into the river and everything got quiet. Basically, this guy's been out in the woods. He's got scared by a bear or like a deer or something. He's pissed his pants and he didn't want to like lose face and say,
"Yeah, it seems quite likely."
Yeah, I pissed my pants when I was out in the woods.
Yeah.
So he said, "I've seen Bigfoot. This is the real deal."
This was piss pants worthy. Like,
yeah.
I'm not ashamed to piss my pants to Bigfoot. Pissing my pants to a deer fighting a bear, however, unacceptable. Yeah.
So he actually said that they did see it. He said that they were especially terrified after they were able to get a good look at the creature when his friend shone a torch on it from above. He remembered that he shined it on whatever it was, and the thing just sucked it up like a sponge.
What?
The thing just sucked it up like a sponge. Like,
what does that mean? So, like,
got vantablack fucking.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I was going to say that.
You could see the silhouette of it, but the hair on this thing just sucked it up. It's weird. And he says, "The hand on this thing was fucking huge. Shaquille O'Neal's a big man, but this thing dwarfed him. It could have palmed a beach ball. Pretty big."
What does that mean?
I can palm a beach ball.
So the hand's so big that he could like. But a beach ball's pretty light, right? Anyway. Yeah. Apparently it had big legs, big hips, a tapered chest. He had a round head and very long arms. Sounds like someone from Grays, really. After the incident appeared to have come to an end, Mark explained that he and his friend remained so terrified that they had to take some time to calm down before feeling safe enough to leave the area. He says, "And we're still sitting up there shaking and it's dark. We sat there for like 15-20 minutes later. Then we had enough nerve to go down to the truck and we got the hell out of there." And that's it. It's Mark's encounter with Bigfoot, and this is breaking news from the Daily Star. Make of it what you will, but it sounds pretty legit to me.
Amazing, mate. That does sound completely legit. I've got absolutely zero questions about it. About its authenticity, yeah.
But what I would say is, yeah, like I said before, I think that Mark pissed his pants in the woods. Didn't want to admit it, so he's made up this Bigfoot story.
No, I think Mark has seen two Bigfoot and it was absolutely terrifying.
The thing is, though, he contradicts himself because he says they didn't see it, but then also that his friend shone a light on it. And both of them pissed themselves, remember?
Oh, did they? Did they really?
Yeah. His mate pissed himself first, and then Mark looked down and he saw that I peed all over my pants.
I think we should take a leaf out of this guy's book. He's basically just wanted to get some free publicity for his Sasquatch podcast or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And and just wrote into the Daily Star and been like, "I heard Bigfoot in the forest. I pissed myself. This is my podcast."
Yeah.
Write a story.
What's the point, though? What happens with this? Because this guy's in America, clearly, right? It's like he probably hasn't written to the Daily Star. Like, are they just trawling through? Like, we need a Bigfoot article today.
They must be, yeah.
What the fuck is going on there in the Daily Star? Like, offices.
I wonder if like every state or every kind of county in America has like the equivalent of like a Daily Star, which is just some shitty rag newspaper that prints fake stories, and then publications like the Daily Star go.
They just grab that.
Yeah.
There's like an archive that they pull.
I reckon,
that they,
This is
probably is.
fresh
There's like
off
a
the wire,
keyword
the news wire, you know.
bot search, and they've got some little bot that every time words like ghost or Bigfoot.
Well, it might be more like old school than that. There might be like literally like a pool that, you know, like before even like a pre-internet type of thing, which is now internet based. There's like, you know, there's like a source that they can have. Like they literally have a source of shitty rag newspaper in America that you know, like it is that's their feed.
Maybe even owned by the same company or something.
Fucking it's
on the
all
wire, they call it getting it from the wire, the news wire.
Yeah, all Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, great, George. Thanks.
Well, yeah, that one was for Jimmy.
No, this
yeah,
big ups.
Fucking Jimmy, you better appreciate it.
He would appreciate
big
it.
up.
I'm gonna look into basically we just need to. This is hopefully the Daily Star or whatever don't hear this episode, but we should just make an episode with us talking about our Bigfoot experience. We was out, something happened, we saw Bigfoot.
Well, you know what's going to have to happen? We're going to have to go Bigfoot hunting.
Yeah.
George. George.
Or
so listeners,
or a ghost story or anything ridiculous like
ghost,
that.
We're going to have to go ghost hunting then. Well, you know,
and then we write into the Daily Star and tell them about our Bigfoot experience. And
right, ghost. Yeah,
and just mention the podcast in
Don't
it.
call Tom a... Would you just call Tom? Okay, no. Listeners, so if you want us to go on a ghost hunt or a Bigfoot hunt, you need to try and change Tom's mind, because Rob and I, you know, we want to go and sit in a field for your enjoyment. You know, we want to go and scare ourselves in a spooky old house somewhere. But one of the three is too scared.
It's not good content.
He's too scared. He's too spooked out. He's too spooked.
I'm not too spooked. It's just not good content.
You just don't want to get grabbed by a ghoul.
And we just don't upload it because it'll be shit content. Like, I'm happy to go and record something, but if it's shit, then we don't upload it. That's fine by me.
I've got someone we can go with. I'll try and find him. There used to be a guy who used to come in. I used to chat to quite a lot.
Used to come in where?
in my man. But I was just trying to find it now. I don't know how to find his website. It was a proper but he loved it as well. He really loved it.
Well, we should go on with that cryptid map of the UK we found.
Yeah, but he's probably one of them, isn't
he?
Yeah.
Anyway, listeners, if you want us to go on a ghost hunt or a UFO hunt or a Bigfoot hunt or whatever, let us know in the comments. In the comments on YouTube, or a review, because you need to try and pressure Tom, because he's fucking scared. You know, he's terrified.
He is. He's fucking shitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I'm happy to go, but you can do the editing because it'll be shit.
Alleged pizza roll pooper apprehended after Oklahoma grocery store incident.
What?
What do you mean by pizza roll?
That's all you're getting.
Yeah, good done. Next.
Pizza roll. Yeah, we don't have pizza rolls over here.
So pizza rolls, they're like it's like a little
calzone, basically. I think.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
Do you put them in the oven or the microwave?
Pop them in the oven, and bread on the outside, cheese and tomato, and on the inside, basically.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So pizza roll pooper apprehended. Top of this says, note to our readers, some people may find the below description of the crime offensive.
Whoa.
Shirley Wright Johnson had a crappy shopping experience on Wednesday. Literally. She said she was picking up some items at a grocery store in Moore, Oklahoma with her two daughters when she reached for a bag of frozen pizza rolls. But she quickly discovered that she had something else in her hand. Human excrement.
What?
I picked up a bag of pizza rolls and there's literally shit, she said in a video obtained by Oklahoma City NBC affiliate KFOR TV.
Shit like on the bag, like someone had shit on, and it was like
Yeah, on the bag apparently.
Surely it's not like an actual turd. Like you'd know if you picked like, oh, I thought it was a bag of pizza rolls, but it turns out it's just a turd. Like surely there's a shit on the bag, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't be.
I think
you'd say that you wouldn't be expecting to pick up a shit if you reached in and there was like, it could be like pizza rolls, could be like individually wrapped things that you grab one of, and it's, you know, it could be a roll is. Because how many? You buy one pizza. You don't buy like a pack of 6 pizzas.
No, but they're not. I think
they're pizza rolls, but
they're
you
smaller.
know, like if you buy a bag of frozen
like hash browns,
roast potatoes,
right?
Yeah,
so
hash browns,
they are
like
smaller, are they?
So it's like a plastic bag you get out of the freezer.
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
So she's reached in, and I think she's had. There's been poo smeared on the packet of the pizza roll.
Or is it a full poo? Surely, because if we're talking like rolls, she must be in like a poo roll scenario, like a whole log.
I think it's been on the bag. You know, it's been smeared on the bag because she says
this is reminding me quickly of a story. I'm not sure. I'm surprised I haven't told this one, but I'm also not surprised if I haven't told this one.
Why is it that the most obscure thing that we could speak about, you know someone?
This was fucked up as well. This was bad. Right. I hope there's certain people I'm sure they don't listen to this, but if they do, then they're about to find out the horrible truth. There was these friends that used to let us stay at their house before a festival. That's as much as I'll say. Right, and so we used to go there, and we all got a little merry beforehand, right? One of my other friends, 2 of them stayed in the same room, right?
You've told me this before.
Have I told it on the podcast?
I don't think I've heard
No,
this.
You've not told it on the podcast, but I think you've told me this before.
Yeah, and the long and short was we were going in the morning, and it smelt bad in there. And I remember Adam was like, "What? Oh, you're this smelling this." When we just started saying that, we started saying this like, "You are this, you are everything." It was like, you're the smell in here. Like, what the fuck? And then my other friend had told us, he was like, yeah, but he woke up in the middle of the night to my mate, tapping him, going, look at this, look what I've done. And it was like in there, it was a posh. They were sleeping in the sewing room. That's the sort of house this was. They were sleeping in the sewing room. They had a sewing room, and it was like a little sort of sewing chair / little kids chair maybe. And he woke him up. Look what I've done. And it was just a shit in the chair. It was just a poo. It was just a poo in there. And my other friend said he was like, half woke up, like, you know, it's like 4 a.m. He woke up like still half pissed, like, and he said he went up to it. And he was telling us an extent. He was like, I went up to it and I touched it. He was like, I didn't believe it was true. I didn't believe. So I was like, that can't be. And he was like, I touched it. And he was like, what the fuck have you done? And they had to he's like, I had to sort of clear it up with like these CD cases because all they had, and like bring it down to the toilet. Like he had to help him clear it up. For some reason, I don't know why the hell he helped. I'd be like, you are fucking dealing with that now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's such a
solid.
Surely you just go and get some toilet roll, get some paper, then
maybe they did that after. I don't know. They were obviously like half asleep, half pissed. I don't know why he did it in the first place. We talk about it now. He still goes allegedly. Fuck off, allegedly. Crazy. I don't know what he was playing at. I mean, he wasn't very well, but he could have made it to the toilet
mentally.
No.
Was it a solid poo at least? Or
I think so. I hope so. I don't know so.
It would have been worse if it was one of those. I don't know what sort of how you describe it. You know, the chairs where it's like weaved together.
Yeah,
like a wicker.
That would have been worse. Yeah, because you get
like
it in the weave. Wicker chair.
I don't remember what type of chair it was.
Yeah, you never get that out.
Well, luckily, this woman. I don't think she says where she was shopping. It wasn't a wicker pack of pizza rolls. She says, I picked up a bag of pizza rolls and there's literally shit. Human shit. Excuse my language. Someone defecated inside a supermarket freezer onto a bag of Totino's pizza rolls. Then covered the mess with another package of the treats. Please tell the TV station. And she says, I grabbed the bag. I felt something smushy on the bag, so I turned it over. And there it was. I was upset. I was disgusted. I felt like I was violated.
It would have been like slush it would have been like icy, mushy poo, wouldn't it? Like it would have had a.
Yeah, that's awful.
That is awful.
And she says the ride home was miserable, even though she scrubbed off her hands.
What detail? I was just depressed the whole way home, like thinking about.
You know
it.
what she means though, like you never feel clean again, right? Like you.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
you wouldn't.
Well,
what like when you're wiping your ass and you accidentally get a little poo on your thumb, and no matter how much you scrub it, you're still a bit like every now and then you're like.
Who wipes their bum with their thumb?
Well, it's there.
Oh, well, yeah, it's in the
what are you
area,
doing?
but you keep him tucked down, don't you? Surely.
I don't know. Maybe you get a little bit on your finger then. All right, a little bit on your finger. It happens. Look, let's be real. It happens. It happens.
Sometimes.
Despite your best efforts, sometimes it happens. And then you scrub it all off, and you particularly pay attention. You put the soap on that bit because you're like, fuck off, and you like soap that bit, like, and then but you're still like,
yeah. Like, is it clean?
I swear that's.
But she says, so she puts that. I mean, she basically says what you've just said. She says, all the way home, my kids were still like, Mom, I can smell it. I can smell it. And I'm like, I smell it too, baby.
Do you know something interesting as well, right? This made me think of this. I don't know if I should say this. I've clearly had a few beers, but like.
Here we go.
Do you ever like, catch a smell of like you've played with your balls maybe and then my friends came and it's like pretend to like you're scratching your nose and you smell it and I don't mind that and
that is disgusting
and there's like a thing there's like a name for it and it's like it's actually quite common that men do quite like the smell of their own like balls and their own aroma, their own pheromones that come from that area, I guess. Yeah. And it's like you're sort of intrigued by it. You're like,
I get what you mean. It's like it doesn't smell good. It's not like I'm not like
it's not. It's just fascinating.
Bottle lips, but
but it's got a certain allure.
It's curious. Yes,
it does have an allure.
Sometimes you smell something bad, but you just can't help smelling more of it. You're like, what?
Yeah,
your brain's trying to work out what it is. I think.
Yeah.
It's like you do a really, really smelly poo.
Sometimes you do, and you're like, you're like, that's interesting.
You need to have another go on that.
Yeah, and then there's sometimes this smelling like it's awful. I need to get away from it. But other times it's like, cool, that's mad. Like I think that's like a vinegariness to it, and I need to.
If you're like, I'm glad that's out of me, so I'm going to appreciate the.
Yeah, maybe, but other times it's like
sitting in the bowl. Do you know what's so in the Netherlands? One thing I've noticed is. The toilets here have a shelf.
Your poo don't go in the water.
You told us this before.
Yeah, you told us this on the bowl.
Yeah.
So
perfect for a photo.
It's perfect for a photo. Lawford would love it. But it's awful because it stinks.
Yeah.
Because your poo's not under the
water. The whole point is, your poo, it goes under the water, smell's gone.
And also, if your poo's especially big, when you flush the toilet, you get a fucking tidal wave coming out of the bathroom because it hits the, it hits the poo.
Yeah. Ricochet.
Up over the top. Unbelievable.
But yeah, but that's the thing apparently.
Fucked.
But that is a thing. Aroma, pleasing, pleasure, self. I reckon it's called self auto. No, I reckon it's called like self
auto pleasure,
auto aroma, self love,
auto love, self.
I've just sent you one of the most disgusting videos in our WhatsApp.
Oh,
I want you to live react to this video.
Is this Lawford? Unbelievable.
Oh Jesus!
Is that in a public toilet?
Yeah. So
if I play it, the sound's going to come out. So.
That's a woman as well, isn't it?
It is a woman. Yeah.
I'll try and mute it.
Women don't do
press
that.
The mute straight away.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Has it got a sound?
Yeah. So I guess.
No, let's not talk. Don't describe it. What the fuck?
Well, we can't like talk about it and not describe it. But, have you ever gone into a bathroom, public toilet, and there's either piss or shit in just like the most unusual places? Sometimes it's on the back of the toilet. Sometimes it's next to the toilet, and you think, how can someone have done this? Like, how can you have made this mistake?
How can you have done
mistake?
But I can't believe you've done this.
That's been deleted from YouTube, by the way. That video.
I can't believe you've done this.
The original. Yeah, it's been. There was like a news story for violence. YouTube deleted it.
No.
But anyway,
mate,
this
political correctness gone mad.
This, for the listeners, this video we just watched together was it starts off and you can just see a bum from the side, a profile of a
miniature
profile
buttock.
of a buttock, and this woman just shits on a toilet wall on like the handrail.
I'm gonna have to have a Joe Rogan.
The side of the bit where like the handrail maybe, and I think that's where the tissue dispenser is. But it's like a fucking projectile.
It's just like a gravy, like Bovril. Basically, she's fired Bovril out of her.
Yeah, it's
out of her bot.
Yeah, but it's intentional. Like she's done this on purpose for whatever reason.
Yeah,
there's a bit of like ricochet as well. Like when it hits the wall, it bounces back all over her. I think that's why she kind of. And she looks at the camera and she's like, "Oh my god!" Like she set up the camera to film this intentionally. She's a fucking nutcase.
Maybe she's got like an OnlyFans. There's probably some people out there that go.
Yeah, I reckon so. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I came across that video.
I don't want to know, Tom.
But
listeners, feel very glad that you're not seeing the video, because I don't think we'll put that up on YouTube.
No, that's yeah, that can't go anywhere really.
Where's Rob gone? He's going for a little wee with
Yeah. Did you see? I guess we'll stick with the theme of shit.
Oh yeah,
and Elon Musk's SpaceX. They sent up an all tourist space flight fairly recently, a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
They just, rocket went up. They flew about for not too long, a few minutes or so, but the whole thing was that it was all tourists. Like it wasn't like this was a manned mission just full of astronauts and people that knew what they were doing. This is one of the first tourist flights, and during the flight, some alarms started going off, and people were like, "What the fuck is that?" And it's like, woo, 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 and everyone's freaking out because they didn't know what this alarm was. And it turns out there was a problem with the toilet. So, in spaceflight, obviously in zero gravity, going to the toilet is quite a difficulty. So
we're still talking about going to the toilet, are we?
Yeah. So I've seen videos before of people who are on like the International Space Station, and they get asked, "How do you go to the toilet on the ISS?" And basically, if you're going a number one, then there's a tube that you just, I think it's gender specific, but you just put your cock in this tube and just piss into this tube, and it's like a vacuum. It's like sucking the piss away from you.
I think I've heard that. Yeah,
but it's all
that's like
yeah.
Surely that it's a bit
of pleasure,
bit sexual
bit
as well. Yeah,
as you're pissing.
Have we spoke about wanking in space before? I think we have, haven't we?
Maybe.
We should. Because, like, what do you...
Do you know a mate who's done that as well?
Well, is that like, there must have been a question people have asked on, like, an AMA with an astronaut or something.
I interviewed an astronaut about, I think, 2 years ago, and I remember reading your article. Wanking in space.
Why? You missed an opportunity there, mate.
Asked him. I feel like it was a bit too professional to ask him.
They must wank in space. There's definitely going to be an answer out there. Yeah, people have definitely asked them that, and like, what do you... Does it like, and you have to like grab it? It's got to be kind of funny, isn't it?
In a bag. You have to do it in a bag.
You have to go into the toilet area and just do it down that same tube that you piss into, right? You just like get yourself on the edge and then just stick it in a tube.
I suppose, are there cameras watching you? Like, I guess there aren't cameras in the toilet bit.
No.
Yeah.
But then someone else has got to use that bag.
Yeah, but surely there must be different bags, because it's also unhygienic to stick your knob in it and piss. What's the difference if you're coming? If anything, I'd rather use a bag that someone's...
weird, isn't it? Sticking your dick in... It's like using the same condom as someone
maybe like the ends are like detachable or something, and you can...
There's got to be, like if you're using the same bag that someone's pissed in, they must have thought of that.
I'd rather put my dick in like a tube that someone's pissed in than someone's jizzed in.
I'm not sure I would.
No?
Nah.
Because jizz is like more viscous, isn't it? Like, like piss is piss.
I love the use of the word viscous.
But like jizz is like...
It might stay about, you mean? It's more likely to be caught on the edges.
Yeah. Piss is like,
yeah, but also like... but like people regularly swallow jizz. people don't regularly. I mean, there are some people that regularly swallow piss, but it ain't as common.
You probably know someone who's done that, though, don't you?
Well, I know of.
For fuck's sake, of course he does.
No, but actually, no, I do know someone that swallowed piss as a joke. But I mean, obviously, I'm in that.
It's in a fetish.
Infamous Curios Cast.
Yeah, episode
topic
1.
that I spoke about.
Yeah.
But you're in therapy.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know.
Anyway,
more people
putting your willy in something.
The same kind of contraption is available to those who need to poo. So when you're going to shit, obviously you can't just sit down on a regular toilet and shit if you're in zero gravity because it will just come back out of the toilet. So you do have this basically like a little bowl kind of thing that I guess like maybe it's shaped like a bike seat or something, and you kind of like put it up against your ass and shit, and it's sucking all the shit out of you as you're shitting.
That sounds like a dream. I'd love that.
So it doesn't go anywhere.
I need one of those for here.
But there was a problem with it on the SpaceX flight. I don't think anything happened. I think it was just that the alarm went off and they were like, you can't shit, basically.
I love that there's an alarm for that.
Yeah, well, the alarm went off and no one knew what it was. Everyone thought that there was something wrong with the actual spaceship, but it turns out it was just a toilet issue. But I did read something before. I wonder if I can find it about a space flight where something had gone wrong with the toilet, and there was little bits of shit flying about in the spaceship, and there was nothing they could do about it.
Is that the sort of thing? Is that the sort of thing that, like, fuck? Could fuck with like the instruments and stuff, and like any sort of detritus could fuck with the instruments and stuff, couldn't it? Like, isn't that like one of those jokes that people say, like, America or such and such spent X amount of money on this anti-gravity pen that, and it's like the Russians used a pencil, and that's a sort of joke. But then I see that the retort of that is actually like, well, actually, it's very important that no tiny little bits of shit like
they couldn't just have like graphite particles flying around the spaceship.
Yeah,
so they had to use
so they had to invent this pen that did the thing.
Yeah.
So it's actually not that. That's not true. The Russians did not use a pencil.
Yeah, or they did use a pencil and were just willing to risk the fact that a little bit of graphite or lead was going to get loose.
Yeah, and that was what happened in Apollo 13.
Yeah, yeah, that was it.
Isn't it mad that it was 13 that did it? And like, it's so vindicating for like so many people that are suspicious.
What, that the 13th meant to be the unlucky number?
Yeah, so vindicating, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder if they did have that conversation about whether they should skip it, just go from 12 to 14.
Yeah, well, Americans do some weird shit, don't they? They do it with like buildings.
Yeah, some buildings don't have a 13th floor.
Yeah, which is so silly because it still is the 13th floor.
Yeah, or I think some buildings, they purposely design some buildings so that the 13th floor is like just for maintenance and storage and stuff,
right.
So no one actually lives on the 13th floor because they know people would be afraid to live on the 13th floor.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
It would just be like you could walk up the stairs and maybe there'd be a 13th floor, but the lift won't have a stop at the 13th floor. Crazy.
What have I missed?
Nothing, man. No, we talk about
the 13th floor thing again. I think we spoke about it.
Yeah, no, we talk about poo and that.
Fuck it. It's my favourite topic.
Yeah. Did you see that there was a clown shortage?
No, what?
Well, obviously we've had, petrol shortage, lorry driver shortage, food shortages. Now there's a clown shortage.
Fucking hell, that's where I draw the line,
Are people panic buying clowns?
Yeah,
then?
exactly. That's what I was saying.
Or panic buying clown outfits.
Yeah. Clown, this is the BBC as well. Clown shortage, appeal for new recruits in Northern Ireland.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Are they big on clowns there?
Don't know. It says there's a lot more to being a clown than just putting on a big red nose and a pair of big baggy pants. That's according to David Duffy, co-owner of Duffy's Circus, who is appealing for people from Northern Ireland to become clowns. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused a shortage of performers as many returned to their home countries when the first lockdown came into force in early 2020. Yeah, that's it.
It's strange, isn't it?
There's a local shop near us in Stamford, George, and it had a sign up saying like vape juice shortage, panic buy here.
Brilliant.
That was good, wasn't it?
I know exactly the one you mean.
Yeah, good, isn't it? Fair play to them.
Like clowns, they're strange. It's a strange thing to get into, you know, like to want to do.
It is, isn't it? I think that, especially like, it seems even stranger now that someone might go, I really want to be a clown. Like I sort
Such an outdated form of entertainment.
Yeah. Like at points, it was like a thing. I guess in America, like it's never been a thing in the UK as it has been in America. Like I don't think there's ever been a thing where you say we're going to get a clown in for a birthday party. Like that's not a thing in the UK, is it? Maybe like it was like an Americanism that maybe that I feel like the 90s was quite a strong era for like Americanism sort of coming over.
Halloween,
but
and
even
shit, I've been to a clown birthday before.
Okay, it's okay, yeah, and probably around then, early 2000s, there might have been a couple of clown parties, but not in the same way. Like America, it's like it seems to be like, well, if we're to believe films that I watched from the 90s, it was like everyone had a clown at a party, like a common thing. Like, is that still a thing? Maybe Jimmy can tell us.
I think I've regressed all memories of being at a clown birthday party. I think that's.
I'm not sure I ever did.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I ever
somewhere.
did. Yeah, I really don't think I ever did.
I remember going.
Apparently, by the way, regressing memories is not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not a thing. Apparently not. There is zero evidence to suggest that regressing a memory is actually true. I listened to a podcast on it the other day.
Oh yeah.
The podcast is like there's no.
Is it the Curios Cast?
No,
is it as factual as
it's
the
called
Curios
like
Cast,
bad? It's called like Bad People or something. It's actually a legitimate podcast where they talk about legitimate science and like psychology and criminals. It's like a criminal psychologist talking with like a comedian, and it's called Bad People. That's what it's called. Shout out to Bad People again. Another small podcast that needs our shout outs.
Can you stop fucking dispersing our audience to other podcasts?
Mate, there's plenty of love to go around, you know. This small little podcast.
We're only going to be left with Jimmy. Jimmy is enough for me, but
they were saying, there's no such thing as regressed memories, by the way.
Disagree.
This is a criminal psychologist with like evidence base, and was just like, apparently there is zero evidence to suggest that
probably zero evidence against it as well.
Yeah.
What?
By the way, this beer's got a cork in it.
Fucking alright, Dutch.
Look at this.
That is Dutch, isn't it?
Do you reckon it's going to do a good...
Yeah, fucking, go on. Formula One everywhere.
All over your computer.
All over my MacBook. Yeah, lovely.
Is
ready?
It
ready?
It's a beer, not a cider.
Eh?
It's a beer, not a cider.
It's a beer, yeah. So this is a lambic. So they're built from Belgium. Ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Deep.
Do you know when you open a champagne bottle, it's not supposed to pop. It's meant to sigh like a well-satisfied woman.
Rob, that's an outdated...
It is, isn't it? It sounds like that Fast Show sketch, doesn't it? You know, when the guy was like...
Rob, you like
balancing a checkbook is much like making love to a beautiful woman. Remember that one?
Rob, you'd like this. It smells like a lovely bit of herb.
What's it? It smells like quite a lot. Beer and that herb quite often have a Venn diagram of smells. It's because of the terpenes.
Excuse me?
The terpenes are what give you that.
I find like Beck's smells a lot like weed, and so
it's because hops themselves like
I was thinking that Beck smells just like regret.
Well, it's the same as like coffee. Like there's been times when I've had like coffee in my bag for a gig, and the guys in the band would be like, "You fucking brought weed with you," and I'm like, "No, I've not brought weed with me." They're like, "Your bag stinks of weed." Then it doesn't. I've got coffee in it. And they won't believe me. They're like, "You've had weed in it." That's why I'm like, "No, it doesn't. It's the coffee. I've got a big bag of coffee in it. That's definitely what you can smell."
I mean, this definitely smells like Biff.
Yeah, it's terpenes is what it's called. You get it in. It's something to do with what attracts things to. Terpenes are aromatic compounds found in many plants, though many people commonly associate them with cannabis because cannabis plants contain high concentrations of them. These aromatic compounds create the characteristic scent of many plants, such as cannabis, pine, and lavender, as well as fresh orange peel.
Fresh orange peel smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fresh orange peel smells great. And so does pine. You know, all these are like...
Yeah, pine.
Not a fan of
Great
lavender,
examples.
really.
Lavender's too much, I think.
It's an acquired smell. I was going to say taste it, but it's...
What are you drinking, Rob?
What is it?
George, you've got some fancy corky beer. What are you got?
We've got
I'm on the Estrella.
Oh, nice.
Or Estrella.
Estrella.
If you're ordering it in an
Estrella.
Essex pub.
Estrella.
I almost, sometimes, right, if I'm in a pub in Essex and they've got that, I feel like I say Estrella on purpose because I feel like I can't.
I think I always say Estrella.
Yeah, I can't say Estrella or they can look at me and go, are you some sort of cunt, mate? It's a fucking Estrella, isn't it?
It's like if you was in a restaurant and you ordered chorizo. Like, you've got to say chorizo, haven't you? Like, you can't say chorizo.
Chorizo.
Lynn always gives me a load of abuse for saying Ibiza.
Oh, instead of Ibiza.
Because apparently all English people say Ibiza.
We do.
Yeah. Which is, I thought, how Spanish people pronounce Ibiza, but apparently Europeans laugh at English people and they
What's
say
it supposed to be? Ibiza.
Ibiza. Yeah.
I thought
Oh, it actually is. What do they say in? Is they say Ibiza? Do they? Ibiza.
I thought they said
Ibiza.
I thought they said like
they say Ibiza.
I thought they said Ibiza.
Nah. Should I get her on, Lynn?
If
they say-
she's not Spanish.
So
I know,
why?
but she laughs. All of her friends laugh at me.
I
for
don't
saying
care
Ibiza.
unless you got a Spanish girl back there. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's the point. If they say if it really is Ibiza or Ibiza, why the fuck do we say Ibiza then? Like, because we're more likely to say Ibiza.
Ibiza.
Because
Ibiza.
the thingy song was that the Venga Boys song was, whoa, we're going to Ibiza, wasn't it? So they probably got it right because they're like
I think
Eastern European, aren't they? The Venga Boys.
Eastern European.
The Venga Boys, yeah, where were they from?
Yeah,
Or are they Scandinavian or something?
What?
Where were the Venga Boys from?
Venga Boys.
They say Ibiza, don't
I
they?
just
We're
fucking
going
googled
to-
it.
They're
and
from the
and
Netherlands.
Spanish
They're from the
do
Netherlands.
say Ibiza.
Did they?
Yeah.
Ibiza.
There's a video
I think
of a Spanish person saying it. How to pronounce
Fucking-
Ibiza correctly.
All right.
Get
Lynn?
these,
Ibiza.
they're saying,
Tell
they're
Lynn to
saying it the
fuck
American
off.
way. So there's a British and European pronunciation, then there's American pronunciation, and the Americans say Ibiza, and Europeans, or it says Spanish and English, say Ibiza.
Lynn.
Tell Lynn to fuck off, George.
Lynn.
Say, Lynn,
You're wrong about Ibiza.
fuck off.
Rob says fuck off. Oh, shit.
Shit. I'm sorry. Take it back. Oh, no. I'll take it back.
You're wrong about Ibiza.
This guy on this video just said the Z in
Come here,
Spanish
come
is
here.
pronounced with your tongue between your teeth like a th. Ibiza.
Lynn says she can't come in because she's not wearing trousers.
Pizza and that's
So, listeners, that's behind the paywall. That's behind the. What did you say? Sorry.
She said Ibiza,
Hang on, wait.
like pizza.
Say it into the mic.
Ibiza.
That's wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, she's wrong. Lynn, Brexit means Brexit. She says, "Fuck you."
Yeah, too. I'll make her
Yeah, no,
right now.
because I'm passionate about this, and I knew
What about Brexit?
I knew that it was Ibiza, because I've been a couple times as a child, not as a
All right. Sorry, mate.
not as a lout, as a child. When we went to the
you know.
you know, you've got like the party town on one side, and then there's like the other side that's like not. I've been like with family
That's
and
what
shit,
they say. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everyone says Ibiza, even like the Spanish people. And like, there's a part of me that's thinking, are they just compensating for, you know, tourists? Oh, my camera's died. But yeah, it is Ibiza.
Ibiza.
How are you going to solve your camera issue?
I've got spare batteries. I'll put a new battery in and I'll go to the toilet. Talk amongst yourself.
Shit. Well, Rob, I'll seeing as you didn't come with any stories, I guess it's all on me, isn't it?
Oh, well, do you know what I did want to look up? I was hoping Lawford would join us, and I wanted to look up that fucking whale Do you remember when he got really triggered by like the fucking the whale?
The whale that
you can't
gave
train
back
a whale.
Gave back the phone, or the whale that was spying.
That was it. It was
the
the same.
Russians.
It was the same whale, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, because I think the argument was that me and you said it was the same whale, but he was just not having it. Like,
It definitely was the same whale. Yeah, it was. I think like it was in like the same part of the ocean, and like I meant to look him up and see if he's still knocking about.
Let's have a little look. Let's have a look at. Well, because there was that whole thing about there was a Russian whale prison, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Whale gives back mobile.
Russians are on one, aren't they?
Mobile phone. This is what we've come to. We're literally searching for stories as we.
Whale gives back mobile phone. Google it.
Yeah, there's no update. They still think it's a Russian spy with his GoPro harness on.
He had a harness on, didn't he? Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, no update since then. So he's probably still
how weird
boffing about somewhere.
Or they could have just straight up been an alien posing as a whale.
What? Yeah, maybe.
And what the fuck was thinking about it now? Like in my head, it sticks out Lawford saying he can't train a whale. I'm sure we argued with him at the time, but like, of course you can train a fucking whale.
Yeah, I think you could. It's
like,
easier to train a whale than it is to train Lawford.
Yeah, they literally train killer whales.
Yeah,
in like SeaWorld all the time.
Is this that whale that was like a spy or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
the one that triggered Lawford.
Yeah. I wanted to look him up because I was thinking about like. There's no further updates.
No, nothing. But there is a breaking news story. You probably have heard of this. This was in Turkey yesterday. Turkish missing man joins search party looking for himself. So this guy got really, really drunk. He was out with friends drinking. Got really, really drunk and became separated from his friends in the mountains of Turkey. So his friends, after a while, they organised a search party. And this guy stumbled out the mountains, bumped into this search party, started just joining them on the search party, didn't really know who they were looking for. And it was only when they started calling his name that he was like, oh, that's me.
That's amazing. Isn't that... it's Indiana Jones. It happens in Indiana Jones, doesn't it?
Yeah,
They're like looking over the cliff for him and he's like...
Yeah, so he'd wandered away from his friends in a forest whilst drunk. His friends reported him missing after they were unable to get in touch with him for several hours. Mr. Mutlu later joined a group in the area who were helping the authorities. And when members of the search party began calling out his name, he said, "I'm here." The authorities then took his statement before driving him home, and it's unclear whether he faced any penalty.
Why would a penalty?
It's a penalty.
Yeah.
Wasting police time, I guess, but I mean, he didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he was missing, surely.
Yeah.
Just found himself.
Deep.
Yeah. Tell you what, I can't fucking read. I can't read.
You can't breed?
Read. I'm stumbling over my words now.
Oh yeah, how many beers deep are you guys?
I've only had 4 beers, but I mean that was 8%.
Yeah, you got pretty strong ones, didn't you?
8%, Jesus.
This one was.
I'm into my 3rd beer, but they're quite large. I'd say they're like a pint and a half.
Mm.
So I've had an 8% or a 6%er. What's this one?
These are 660 millilitres.
Can't even fucking
What's a
read.
pint? Is a pint 475, isn't it? Or is it 575?
535, I think.
I thought it was 537.
Yes. Between
many different answers there.
473.
473. I was the closest.
It says,
in fact, I was 2 out.
that's in the US.
A pint's a pint, sure.
Don't trust them lot.
Yeah.
I think a pint is different maybe in the UK and US. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you need an imperial pint.
It
It's
is.
557 or 537, something like that.
568.261.
That's what I meant, you know.
Yeah.
So I was the closest.
All right. You were the closest, all right.
No,
No, didn't George say
I
575?
don't know.
Yeah.
Forgot.
I can't remember, but yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll never.
I'm drinking.
There's a listener right now listening, going, I know exactly what that is.
I'm drinking good old Foster's.
Good old classic Tom.
Shit, cheap lager.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like when you're young and got no money and you're just drinking the cheapest stuff you can find. Like there's always deals on Foster's in every supermarket.
Yeah.
So you go in and it'll be a crate of 24 beers for £15 or something. And as like a 18-year-old, you're like, oh yeah, fucking sweet. You and your mate split it and you've got a crate of beers for the night. And I guess I've done that so much that I haven't, you've got a taste for it now, that I feel like I can just drink this like it's water and it doesn't even...
Well, it was only like... You're talking about you being young. It was only like 2 years ago.
Not 7 years ago. But it's kind of just a habit, I guess, that every time... Especially if you're going somewhere where you're going to be drinking a lot, maybe. Like if you're going to a festival and you want to get a few crates of beer in. Like, we went Reading Festival. We go from Wednesday to Monday. So it's a long time, right? And you want beers to last you the whole time. You don't have to keep going to the shop or whatever. Just get a few crates of Foster's, costs barely anything, and we just end up buying too much. And I've got a couple crates of Foster's that I've just brought home from festivals because we've brought too many. And I don't drink at home. I never just sit and have a beer. So I've just had a fridge full of fucking beer for ages. And then if I go somewhere, I'm not going to empty my fridge of all these beers. So I get a new crate. I've just got too many Foster's sitting around, so I'm working my way through these. Because
you don't actually want to drink Foster's, is what you're saying. Like,
I don't.
In a normal occasion,
I feel like I've gotten so used to it over the years. It's not like I know that it's shit. Like if I had a nice beer here, if I had a Estrella or if I had a Birra Moretti or a Cobra or something, I'd drink that and be like, oh, that's a bit nicer, that is. And then you drink this and I'll be like, oh, it's a bit shit. But
thing is, I think a beer is only as nice as the last beer you just drank. Like you could be drinking Foster's all night, or other way around. That way around. I could be drinking Foster's all night, and then you have an Estrella, and you're like, it will taste awful. Even though I know that's a superior beer, and generally I would much rather have that beer. Your taste buds
just get used to whatever you're drinking.
They just get used to it.
Whatever quality beer you're putting, like no matter how high or low quality the beer is that you're putting in your body is just happy with it.
Yeah, it's all naff, really, isn't it? I watched like one YouTube video and it was like you acquire your taste for it. Like, I can't remember, it was like a cartoon and it was saying like bitter, and it was like saying that it was like you have a drink and it's called bitter, and you actually like, of course it's disgusting. It's
Mate, fucking bitter. It's great. I love it.
I know, I love it as well, but it's called bitter. Like bitter is normally a word exclusively used to describe something that's like unpleasant, really. Oh, that's bitter. Like, and we have a drink exclusively called bitter.
The very moment I realised that my taste buds had evolved was, so when I was 16 or 15, me and my mates used to buy White Lightning and Super Kestrel, and we drink it over One Tree Hill, close to us, Rob. Go up there and get pissed up all night.
Big up getting pissed at One Tree Hill, yeah.
Used to love it, White Lightning, White Stripe, all the really shit cider.
Frosty Jacks.
Yeah, it's awful. And then a few years later, I went to uni for the first time, and one night I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to buy a White Lightning. It's nice and cheap, like fucking 3 litres for £1.50 or something. It's just disgusting.
It's awful, isn't it? Yeah, it's
absolutely awful. Just sugar,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Instantly makes you feel sick.
I've got such a not a sweet tooth that I've got a couple friends who maybe just don't like beer as much as me. So they'll drink cider or they'll drink any kind of like or any kind of mixer and drink, right? You just have like a vodka and Coke or JD and Coke or whatever. And I don't mind it, like I'll drink it, but I drink one of them and I'm thinking this is way too sweet for me already. Like I was away last weekend and I drink a cocktail, went to like a cocktail bar. So I drank a cocktail and I was like, oh, it's really nice actually. But you have like 3-4 sips and I'm done. I want a beer. I just want a beer again. Like it's just better.
Working as a waitress.
One thing I can recommend is the cork beer. This Geyser Creek Lambic, very nice.
Thanks, George.
So, Tom, if you want to have a little go on that, mate. I know you're not really a exotic beer lover.
Have you ever had Normandy cider?
I think we spoke about this before.
Amazing. I think maybe we did, and maybe I brought some somewhere, or was that someone else? But like, it's not like normal cider. It's completely different.
What's the difference?
It's just like a really nice drink. Maybe it's not as strong. I don't know, but it's not like drinking a cider. It's like, it's hard to describe. And it comes with like a cork sort of thing, and you unscrew it like a champagne thing, and it's it's amazing. Obviously, you only get it really from Normandy or close to.
So I can remember they love apples in Normandy. When I stayed with a friend in Paris many years ago, and I was really, really sick. I had a really bad cold, and his dad had been cooking this traditional dish from Normandy. It was like an apple and pork dish. You know, I arrived in the morning at like 8 a.m. and his dad was already in the kitchen preparing this dish. It was like a stew almost with apples and pork, and it was cooking all the way through until like 8 p.m, 9 p.m. that we ate, and I just couldn't appreciate it because I was just fucked. It was the worst cold I've ever had. I couldn't speak, literally couldn't speak. My nose was blocked, eyes were blocked. So it's always been my one regret. But I think maybe Normandy is famous for his apples. Then, if they've got a cider and this dish,
cider's big ups there. Yeah. So they must have a lot of apple orchards.
So Normandy, très bien for your cider and your pork apple dishes. I'm sorry I couldn't appreciate it.
We hope you've enjoyed part 2 of episode 50. Before we get on to the final section, we'd like to remind you that we do upload every episode onto YouTube as well. So if you tend to listen while you're at home, why don't you chuck us up on the big screen? Whether that's on your laptop while you're in the bath, or snuggle up with the family and put us on the TV. So just type in Curios Cast on YouTube, and all episodes back until episode 12 are there. We'll go back to part 3 now, where we're joined by ex-host and Curios Cast founder, Paul Lawford. Enjoy. So I mentioned the cocktail bar. This cocktail bar was in Manchester, and it's called the Wash House. Shout out to the Wash House, Manchester. And basically, on the outside, it looks like it's just a laundrette or a laundromat, as you across the pond would say. So look, there's like 2-3 washing machines and like a vending machine in there, and like that's it. And then, if you've made a booking, you go in and you pick up like a old rotary phone. Pick up the phone and you just speak to the person on the other end. I picked it up and I was just like, I got a big load to drop off, and they, had a little laugh. And they're like, yeah, come through, open the vending machine, and you just open up the vending machine and you go through to like quite a massive, and it's quite a nice, like fancy cocktail bar. It's pretty cool because obviously on the outside it does just look like a laundrette, but then there's this cocktail bar behind, and
maybe like a speakeasy.
Yeah,
is it?
And they give you the menu. You sit down and obviously choose your drinks. And the first drink that I ordered was called Hooligan Mother, and they were like, okay, cool. 4 of us were there. We ordered drinks. 2 of us ordered this drink called Hooligan Mother. I think there was like pineapple and cherry or whatever. Waitress goes away. She comes back like a minute later, and she went, "Oh, you two come with me." And we're like, "Okay." And she like walks away. So we get up and follow her. It's me and my friend Hannah, and we walk. She takes us like round all the way around the bar and to the other side of the bar, and over tucked away in a corner, there's like a wall that has like a criminal lineup kind of wall on it with like the heights and everything. And she's like, okay, and she's like, you're gonna have your mug shots done. I was like, oh, okay, but pretty sick. But she made, and with like a traditional like mug shot where you have the wall behind you, then you're holding like a little board in front of you that has like your name on it and your criminal number or whatever. I had to choose my friend's board and she got to choose mine, and they all said different things, but we didn't know what each other said. And she took the picture and printed it out on a Polaroid, and I'll try to get it up on the screen. But basically, you won't be able to see that; it won't focus. But it's a little board with me, and the one that she'd picked out for me says "tiny cock." So I was like standing there, and I knew she'd picked. I didn't know what it was saying as I was holding it, so I'm standing there holding this board that like says "tiny cock" on it, and there's obviously like loads of people that can see. And I remember I was just standing there, and like one of the waiters just walked by. I was like, like laughing at me, and yeah, and then I didn't know what it said, and then they come and bring it over with your drink, sort of like attached onto it. It's pretty sick. Nice place.
That made me. I thought you were going to say like called Hooligan Mother, you know, and then you ordered this drink, and then like this large like Ukrainian mother just comes over and just like douches you in the head like 6 times. You're like, oh fuck, I changed my mind. I want sex on the beach instead, please.
I like the idea of a hidden bar, hidden restaurant. When I went to Kiev with Colin, so someone that we all know, there was this secret bar in the centre of Kiev, or like a restaurant that was like really, really apparently the place to be. And was like, yeah, we'll go there. You know, we'll have to check it out and stuff. Couldn't fucking find it for the 3 days that we were there. It was in this underground. A lot of things in Kiev are underground because in the winter it's like minus. I was going to say,
the clue is in the name though. Secret bar, like it's probably
but there's like
probably
a
good
guide online how to find this bar, and you have to go up to this random bit of the wall in this shopping centre, underground shopping centre, and there's a pressure point that you press on the wall and it opens up and you go in and you have to say like a code word, and each week the code word changes. Couldn't even fucking find the wall. It was just ridiculous. Like, it was mental.
Strong, yeah.
I mean, to this day, I think it was a wind-up. You know, I think it was.
You never actually found it?
Never found it. Yeah.
Oh, right.
For 3 days we were there, we couldn't find this bar or restaurant once.
That's pretty cool.
That's mad. I'd love it if that was just a wind-up. Like,
I think it must have been.
I've seen it before on. I think it was like a fucking TikTok or something, and it's in America. It looks like it's in New York or some kind of city, and there's like a convenience store. And you go in, and it's an operational, functional convenience store. People are there buying shit. And in the back, one of the fridges or freezers, you open it up, and that takes you through to a whole nightclub. I thought that's pretty sick. Like during the day, it is just a functional store, stays open, and then in the night, people go through to this nightclub.
I like the idea that some people just go because they need some convenience.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. There's people that will go there and not know.
Or there's people that go there and they know, but they're like, I just need some milk, Cheerios. Yeah.
It's like it reminds me of there's the episode in The Simpsons where Lisa turns vegetarian, and Linda and Paul McCartney are in it, and they've got like this little sanctuary with all these trees and birds and animals and a waterfall on top of the Quickie Mart, and Apu doesn't eat meat either. He's a vegetarian, and Lisa's like talking to Apu about it, and he's like, "Oh, come with me." And he goes to the fridges, and behind the non-alcoholic section fridge is a little pathway up.
Unbelievable!
Here he is, boys.
Watch out!
What is this treat for long-term listeners of the Curios Cast?
Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay,
so we mentioned earlier on in the podcast. We gave a little background as to who Lawford is because we've fucking grown like crazy since you left, mate. And
I don't blame you, mate. I was the worst part of it.
You sound fantastic, though. I must say, Lawford.
Here he is.
Yeah.
With your trade tang mic, like.
Ain't no trade tang, mate, is it?
Fucking hell, you're erect, aren't you? Where's all your blood flowing to? Jesus.
It does sound good.
It does sound
It's fucking
good.
hair. That's where it's going to.
It sounds better than your fucking mic, George. Like the amateurs I have to work with.
Look, I think you'll find that my mic was reasonable. It's
Count yourself
all right.
lucky, Rob, that I've even got a Yeti Blue, because
I'm
before
not
this...
It's Lawford. It sounds fantastic.
Thanks,
Crispy.
mate. I mean, I'm here alone if you want to come suck me off. You're more than welcome to.
Have you been on
anyway,
It's
boys?
been a long time since you've been on the Curios Cast. How have you been?
It has been a while. I will make Tom McLeod aware of a real slight technical issue that I can't use OBS to record my screen, so I'm hoping you're recording my camera here.
I am, yes. It won't look good,
Cool.
but it will look.
It will suffice.
Yeah.
Are you recording audio?
I'm not recording my audio. So
Brilliant.
I should do that.
So all that stuff you said about it sounded really good, Rob. You know.
Yeah.
You have to mix that up again. Hold on, let me go and do that. Let me go and do that for you.
We'll splice in what we've got so far from the.
Can you leave and join again?
Because my mic's plugged into my PC. I don't know where. I'm going to use OBS to record a blank video, and it's going to have audio in it. That's all you're getting.
That'll be fine.
That's fine. Amazing.
There we go.
It's a shame, Lawford, because we were just talking about, but about 10, 15 minutes ago, we were talking about the beluga whale that triggered you. You know, the Russian spy.
Oh yeah. I think I remember that one. That's when we recorded the studio. We mentioned the beluga whale.
Yeah, we was trying to figure out whether there'd been any update, but I don't think there's been any update at all. I think he's still unknown. You know, people still think he's a 00 agent out in the Baltic Sea somewhere.
I mean, I've just been alluded to the fact that your name is George Zaganelli. I don't know what's going on there, but it's triggered me a little bit more than the beluga whale, I think. What's going on there?
No, it's because...
Don't say it's a working title or artist name. Don't tell me that.
No. So way back when I was in the police... I had to. At that time, they were saying that you can't use your name on social media or anything like that. So
Forgot you were a pig for a little while. You was one of the feds.
I was a pig, piggy boy.
That was mad, wasn't it? What made you do that?
Well, basically, I went to university back in 2011 and didn't really know what I was doing. And then one day, I saw that they were recruiting police officers. So I was like, I'll give that a go. So I quit university, went to join the police. And then realised that wasn't for me.
University for that.
Because basically, Lawford, I got a Skyrim when it came out and didn't do any of my coursework. So
it's a reasonable excuse, to be fair. It was reasonable. Great game.
Skyrim gave you like a window into like police enforcement for some reason. I've never played Skyrim. I don't know what it was like.
Well, no, it ruined my chances of a good grade, Rob. It wasn't so much that it opened my eyes; it fucked any chances of me getting a good grade in history.
Right.
Rob, do you remember when I was addicted to EverQuest? That's what ruined my college days, and this is obviously what ruined George's university days. But in answer to your question earlier, George, yes, I'm absolutely fine. It's been a long time since I've seen you, so it's nice to see your friendly face.
Yeah,
you look like you lost weight, though. What's going on?
Yeah,
you're running lots of something.
No, it's living with Lynn. You know, constant fear of physical violence keeps me going.
I do like the precarious wires you've got going on behind you there. Some real nice.
Yeah, that's a Curios Cast.
We spoke about.
Oh yeah, we brought it up a couple episodes ago.
I'm not sure they're in your actual phone shot, are they? Tom?
A lot. They're usually blocked by George's head, but yeah, you can.
So they're even better this time because Lynn repainted the wall recently, but she, obviously had to take. I pinned all these up, but she's had to take it all down, so it's loose now. So at any point, it could all just fall down.
Your router, is it? Is your Wi-Fi router like that?
No, so basically, we've got the router downstairs, and but because the ceilings are so tall in this building, we don't get any signal. So I've got like an Ethernet cable coming up from downstairs into that thing, and then that thing goes into the living room where there's a booster. And then we connect to the Wi-Fi from the booster. So it's a mess.
What is going on?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's all very technical.
What you boys been chatting about tonight? Then what time did you start kicking off?
We've been going for a while.
2 hours.
Oh really? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Tom was in the middle of a story. What was you?
I was just saying. I was talking about The Simpsons. I was just saying that the joke was that we were talking about like speakeasy clubs and cocktail bars and stuff that are like hidden behind fridges and washing machines on the street. And I was saying about there's a Simpsons episode where there's like a little sanctuary on top of the Quickie Mart, and it's hidden behind one of the fridges. And Apu is showing Lisa, and he's like, "Oh, it's right here behind the non-alcohol, the alcohol-free beer." And Lisa says, "Well, what happens if someone wants an alcohol-free beer?" And Apu's like, "You know what? It's never come up." And they
true,
go straight upstairs.
There's one in I think is it Brewdog? There's a Brewdog bar in like London, and there's like a small little bar bit, and you go sort of near the toilets, and there's like a thing that you open. I can't remember. It's like a bookshelf or a mirror or something that you open, and you go into a much bigger bar, like a downstairs bit.
That's like World's End in Camden, where like you go into it and there's the first time I went in, it does just look like a little pub. Like it's actually quite cramped in there. There's like a little bar, a couple seats or whatever. It's pretty cramped, and you might just think that's the pub, and then you go through to the back, and it's like there's a big.
It's mental big in there. I've played the Countdown of the World many a time and been there quite a lot of times. And I tell you what, have you played there, Rob?
I haven't actually played the
add it to your bucket list because the World's End is a really good funny story. Not a funny story, a bit of a shit story really. But I went there not last Friday, the Friday before with Cass and Tattoo Bill. We went to see a band there, and I went up to the bar, right? I said, "Oh mate, can I just have 3 pints of whatever beer you got?" And he's like, "I want to run out of Carlsberg." I was like, "Carlsberg's a bit crap anyway." He's like, "I've got Kronenberg." All right, that'll do. £21.50 for 3 pints. £21.
It is expensive in there.
50p for 3, and it wasn't even like glass. It was like in plastic cups. Like,
no.
Like in the actual World's End upstairs, I could accept it, but not in the actual underworld where it's just like it's meant to be pure trash. That's the whole point of it. It's meant to be dingy and horrible for like metal and rock music. But I'm £21.50 for 3 beers, lads. What's going on?
You wouldn't get that down the World's End in Tilbury, would you?
You would not get that until
you get
everywhere
glass and get fucking robbed.
Everywhere has bumped up their prices.
They have.
Opening back up after being closed for so long. Even like it's always been a rip-off, but Brixton Academy, like they only sell Carlsberg. It's the only beer that you can get, and it's like nearly £6, and it's like not even a pint. It's like a fucking like
it's 330ml bottle, is it?
Yeah, it's fucking tragic, man.
That's deep.
There's almost no point. Like you want to be standing. It's nice to like when you're watching a band, have a little beer in your hand, get a little buzz, and you're thinking, is it even worth it, man? Like if I get like, am I just going to drink one? Surely not. Like if I want to get like 2 or 3 beers, I'm spending like 30 quid tonight. Like fuck off.
Yeah.
You think about it, not over in the EU, mate. No, fucking hell.
When you think about it, though, you can literally buy for 30 quid. You could buy 3 crates of beer. You can buy like 48
That's what I was just talking about.
Fosters,
these crates of Fosters, mate.
Exactly.
Nice.
I don't mind a Fosters. Fosters is all right. I know Rob's probably going to turn his nose up at me and go, "Why would I even think about drinking a Fosters?" but pissy beers are great. You just piss loads and they taste all right.
That is fucking horrible.
What about Red Stripe?
Yeah, Red Stripe's fine.
I'm a big fan of Red Stripe.
Yeah, Red Stripe's good.
Yeah.
When I lived in the cottage at Malgrave's cottage, Red Stripe was the beer of choice. Like I think I mentioned before, we used to call it Bud's delivery. They deliver a beer for anywhere for £1.
No more.
Yeah, and they drop it off. Yeah. But at the time, I remember when I was living there and I was regularly getting Buds delivered. They were £1 a can.
Different sort of Buds.
£1 for delivery. No, this beer. And I went to a place in London and it was £5 for a can, literally a can as well. They gave you the can, they poured it out in a glass, and I had like many cans in the fridge at the time as well. Like back at home, I remember thinking I gave her a tenner. It was it was all loud. Handed over a tenner at the bar, and they look at me like I was waiting for my change, and they look at me like, "What? No, there's your 2 beers." That's pretty cheap now. I'd probably be I'd be happy. I'd be laughing to give just a tenner over for fucking 2 beers now.
When's it all going to go back to normal, these pricings? Because it can't be sustainable.
New normal. Normal.
Yeah, once you're used to it, they ain't going to change back, are they? Once people have started paying it, and that's the price, why would you drop it again?
But you think about it, average Joe Blogs ain't going to be able to go out and like the nights when you used to be able to spend 20, 30 quid and that'd be your food, 5 or 6 pints and go home. That ain't happening no more. That's 70 to 100 now. No. That's mental. We
just sound like old fucks though. Fucking...
The kids ain't got no money, have they? We've got more money than they have by all accounts, haven't we? Unless they're just random riches.
They're all on cat.
Get him triggered.
Yeah. Ray went out the other day and spent £360.
Disgusting.
It's £1 for every day of the year.
On just a
£5 charge.
Yeah.
What do you do for that much money? Where did he go? Don't just tell me the pub. You can't have just gone to the pub.
I had dinner. I had dinner at one place, and then went to like a pub that ended up with like a sort of a club downstairs, but it was a pub really with a club bit downstairs.
What's he spending that on though? Let's say what average price of dinner. Let's go over the top and say per person 85. Let's just say 85 on his own. He still spent 190 quid or something. What's he spent that on?
Is it like cocktails? Shit like that. A bit like 40 quid on a taxi home.
Yes, it
Oh.
didn't
That's the
include
worst
that.
bit. I mean, that is the
Yeah,
worst bit.
40
£40 on a taxi home. I mean,
I don't know if you boys saw this, but seeing as we're talking about beer and food prices, I don't know if you saw the Salt Bay guy's restaurant bill. I don't know if you saw
Oh
that.
yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah.
he's mad.
Was it like
isn't he?
£40 for 3 Red Bulls or something?
Yeah,
Two Red Bulls at 43 quid.
no, it was
Yeah.
it was 4 Red Bulls, 40 okay. They were
It was £11 each, they were.
each, yeah.
Disgusting.
But it's not. But he says disgusting. Like it's classic, like press. You know, no such thing as bad press. All the people commenting on it is like, you ain't supposed to be eating at this restaurant. Clearly, you like
Obviously
the
not,
people,
no.
the people that are there, and it's fully booked. The people that are meant to be fucking eating in it.
Well, it's in
Oh,
Knightsbridge. The people are from Knightsbridge, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's all Instagram pricks that are there, and the point of going there is to say that you've been there, and everyone knows it's how ridiculous prices, and so you go there and you're like, I'm here eating, and you know that I'm spending £1,000 on my meal, and I've got that money, but you ain't really
Yeah.
probably been 3 years paying it off on your credit card. But
Yeah.
Imagine going to a restaurant and paying £100 for a burger. Just think about that a second. Just think about £100 for a burger. That's carnage, isn't it?
it's crazy. Yeah,
So one of the items on the menu on this receipt that was posted and everyone was talking about is a giant tomahawk, which is a steak, right?
yeah.
£630.
Tomahawk steak. 630 quid for one giant tomahawk steak.
Yeah, it's fucking it's mental.
That is mad.
I mean, that's mad, Lawford. But you know what's madder? The fact that someone was ejaculating out of his arsehole for over 2 years.
I heard that. Yeah, I read about this.
What?
Did you know about this?
What's going
Yeah.
on there?
So a
Did some-
rare
did-
complication.
hold on. Did someone cough up there and it just keeps coming out? Like,
No, that's what I was talking about this with one of my mates. I was saying, like, do you reckon that was just like an excuse? Like, he's in bed and some cum drips out of his arsehole and his missus is like, what's
going
that?
on?
He's like, oh, it must be a medical anomaly. What's going on?
So I'll share the link to the article in our chat so you can see it as well, Lawford.
It's a nice segue, by the way.
There's a thank you very much. There's a picture on it with an arrow that doesn't explain anything to me. So the main picture,
yeah.
there's like a little red arrow, but
it's got
like,
two holes.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me. Like, okay, that hasn't explained it.
Yeah, it's like an MRI or something, or X-ray.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's just stupid. Like, why?
The
why
funny thing
include
about
that in
it, the article is like when you look at the person who, like the journalist, her name's Samantha Cole, and you click on her page, and she just looks like she really doesn't want to be where she is. Could you imagine like sitting there, like writing this article? Like, it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Pretty sure as well. Like, there's an article that's like linked in it. Man tosses his penis out of car window during car chase with police. I'm pretty sure we've done that. I'm pretty sure we've covered.
100%. That sounds like a Curios Cast story.
Certain we've covered that. Anyway,
And in fact, isn't Samantha Cole, the journalist, isn't she on our payroll? Aren't we paying her?
We don't have a payroll.
So yeah, basically, this guy had some sort of weird medical condition where a catheter was causing him to expel a significant or a substantial amount of semen out of his rectum.
Oh, okay.
Which is,
okay.
but I don't understand in
The
what
tube's got to be
universe.
routed the wrong way. It's got to be routed the wrong way by
But
accident.
how? Like
Yeah.
that's gone drastically wrong. Where your nutsack and your bumhole is linked. You know,
What's
that's
funny?
No.
Imagine you're a virgin, right? Just imagine it. You're
Oh,
there,
it's so hard to imagine. How can I imagine?
Imagine you are, right, and you're there, and she's with you, or he's with you, however you want to be, and you're about to do your bit. You are about to go, like you're about to go, and he or her is expecting it to come out of your dick, and then you suddenly go like that, right? And nothing comes out. Oh, I've got an alarm gone off here, and it's just a puff of smoke, and your underpants and all the bed underneath you are now wet.
raised on 10, puff of smoke.
What's going on there?
Mrs. Feet's puff of smoke.
Yeah, DEFCON 10.
But then, surely the other person's going to be like, "Yeah, what's going on here? Why's the bed wet and not anything else?"
Or it'd be the wall, wouldn't it? If it fires out your hole at
Comes out.
Mach 10, you plaster your wall.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I know that like Vice are not meant to be like I guess, a very like they're meant to be down with the kids, right? Like, they're not meant to be the super formal kind of publication. But there's a couple lines here where it explains the guy's problem. It says it's a rare medical condition where the body develops a hole that connects the rectum with the lower urinary tract and creates all kinds of problems, like shit in one's piss and vice versa. Like, and then there's another person. It says, in this man's case, the hole created a new passageway for his sperm to travel. Instead of flowing out his dick like he might expect, it took a hard left out of his anus.
That's surely reversible, though. Surely they can reroute that pipe. Reroute that pipe back to where it should go, surely.
Fucking Vice. They just try too hard, don't they, Vice?
Yeah.
Bunch of cunts.
It does sound a bit like your dad writing an article, but I know it's probably not, but it just...
It's probably not my dad, no.
Yeah.
That's mad,
he does work at the zoo, so he wouldn't be writing a Vice article.
Mate, that's my dream job.
You work at the zoo?
He does work at London Zoo, yeah.
Brilliant.
Why do we not know this?
What does he do at London Zoo?
Bit of everything, mate.
Does he fight gorillas and apes and
no,
penguins and shit?
He is like he like builds the enclosures and stuff, fixes stuff that's broken, everything. Like,
how have we not spoken about this?
Yeah, why do we not know this?
You've told me this before, 100%. We spoke about it before.
But no, my dad didn't write this article about this guy coming out of his ass.
Are you writing articles now, George? What's going on with you?
Nah, I'm just looking up Bigfoot stories.
I thought you were a journalist now. I thought you'd grown out of being uncool like us, and you're a proper journalist now.
No, not anymore. You know, I'm just Curios Cast all the way. Full time.
I tell you, who's writing articles though. The Herald over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
but
best.
segue bar.
Look at Rob in his segue.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm going to be doing tonight. Actually, in about 10 minutes, I've got to go live.
Tell us what you're up to.
But
so-
just so you know, you need to pay for any sort of plug.
No. I founded this show, mate. I'm the special guest.
Excuse me. I think you'll find that George James is the leading appearance holder for the Curios Cast.
Oh yeah, George has been on more episodes than any of us.
I'm sure that award you're going to get in the post is going to be really worthwhile.
You can pay NFTs, Lawford.
So the little project that I'm currently working with is an NFT project, which I won't go into what NFTs are because it's a proper long thing for people who don't understand. But I know you three do, so I'll just speak like I'm speaking to you. But yeah, there's a project for a game that is called Drunken Dragons that is like going to include NFTs in the game, and it's going to be like a pay to earn for NFT cryptos and other different things, and it's right up my wheelhouse. It's proper like medieval sort of like loser neckbeard dragons and dungeons and shit and all the sort of music that I like and all that sort of stuff. But I'm the actual game is really cool, and I'm doing some bits from some streams and doing some news posts and some videos and stuff. So it's actually quite cool. I've not really done much video editing for a while, so it's interesting to kind of go back into Final Cut.
We should call you the Herald, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's your title.
That is my name within the community of the Drunken Dragon. Yeah. So yeah,
Herald Lawford.
What would your name be? What would your old medieval name be? Jester George.
Jester. I don't think I'd want Pecker. Yeah, probably Pecker. You know, like I don't think I wouldn't be a jester. Jester's shit, isn't it? Really.
But that's why it'd be you. Yeah.
What do you be? The bard.
No, he can't play any musical instruments. Look at you, be the bard, Rob. Surely you play loads of different shit.
Yeah, Rob would be a bard.
That's what I was asking. Like, what would I be?
Yeah, you'd be the bard. Yeah,
you'd be the bard or like the herbalist. You know,
Tom likes live music and beer, so what can he be?
Shakespeare walks into a bar. The barman says, "You're bard."
Fucking hell!
Get out! Kick him from the chat.
Why has he got Christmas lights up in September as well? That's what I want to know.
Because it's my general lighting aesthetic these days.
The black on his wall, Lawford, does it look especially black? Would you say it's vantablack?
It looks like my soul. Why are we alluding to this dark colour? What's so special about it?
I haven't got around to it yet, but like I've got this, like this particularly black apple.
Is that the same apple?
Yeah, it's still there. It's looking a bit manky.
Why is that still there?
Yeah, it's looking a bit manky. This is from a few... And it's
sounds like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Black can of beer.
Oh, I actually thought that apple was rotted black. I didn't realise you painted it.
All right.
I thought you left it there for months. It just withered away. Like half of it was just pure turmoil.
No, yeah. Have you seen like vantablack? It's meant to be so black that you can't see it. Basically, it absorbs all light. And Rob bought a. Well, you didn't actually buy a vantablack. You bought Black 3.0, which was meant to be better than vantablack. But
It's not meant to be better. It's just like a more affordable alternative.
Okay. Yeah.
Non-branded. It's the little alternative.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not as it's pretty whelming. You know?
Probably like the last hour of this.
I'd say it's been pretty whelming, yeah. Lawford, can you believe that? I mean, it's been over probably 2.5 years since we started the Curios Cast. I reckon 2 years since we started the Curios Cast. I think we started it in...
First episode was January 2019.
2019.
Fuck off, really?
And also, Lawford, you've only been on 7 episodes, but you are one of the OGs. How does it feel to
make it 8 now? If you're including this one,
right? 8 episodes.
True,
I suppose it is 8. How does it feel being part of this project? You know, and stepping away for so long. Do you feel any?
I think this is only my second one with Tom McLeod as well, if I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
So it's, and then obviously you two pricks. It was the first 6. But Rob's had enough. Like, he's heard me talking. He's out. Like
he needs to go and empty his bladder.
But no, it feels all right, mate. I'm just got the kid to bed. Well, I say I got the kid to bed. She actually went down a bit earlier this night. We're about 7:20. Emma's out, so I thought I got a text from you. And I was waiting for a text from Tom, but Tom never delivered. But George James came up clutch and sent me a text saying, "Are you available?" And I was like, "Of course I'm available for the boys." And then came on. It's good to be good. Is it episode 50? You say
50, mate.
Episode. It's a landmark episode.
That's why we don't usually drink copious amounts of beer on every recording. Just every 50.
Yeah,
and
nice.
Christmas and Valentine's and Easter and the first of the month and the last of the month.
I'll have to, if you have space for me, jump in again one day for one of your other either special ones. If you're going to do a Christmas or an Easter or a like a 75th or 100th or something, and you got
the next one will be Halloween. I think it'll be Halloween.
We need to do a Halloween special, don't we?
Can I dress up as a spooky ghost just for
you?
George?
Have to dress up as something.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I could be down for a little Halloween one. The good news is I've actually got the week before and during Halloween off because it's my birthday and Emma's birthday, so the potential of me doing stuff at all times is pretty high. So
here we go. So listeners, for anyone that doesn't know, Lawford is far more eager to do, or he always was far more eager to do a ghost hunt in a spooky house
it was
somewhere.
You peck. It was never
Yes.
Lawford he loved it. He loved the idea of going into a ghost house. Spooky house, you know.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I was never interested in it. It was always you.
Rubbish. Me, you, and Rob were going to go into a spooky house, and you were going to shit your pants, and it was.
You live about 1,000 miles away now.
Well, I do now, but you know, back in the glory days of one episode coming out every 6 months.
Yeah,
you know,
they were good times. I'm gonna have to say, boys, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you because I've got 6 minutes until my own live stream. So I'm not gonna
enjoy a live stream.
Lawford, before you go, what would you say to our listeners? You know, we're now a worldwide podcast. We've got listeners from as far away as Southend. Would you
25 miles?
What do you want to impart to our listeners, especially across the seas in America?
Yeah, it was great to be a part of it at the start. It's gutted I can't really be on it as much now, but having a child takes time away. But it's good to see it's continued on and evolved. One thing I'm going to give some feedback to Tom McLeod. He was absolutely on the social media game non-stop. I saw posts, but that's not been as much recently. So I want to see some more of that.
Oh,
it's coming back.
Cold hard feedback there.
Give us next month.
But I'm enjoying it, boys. You keep it up, and then, like I say, if you've got a bit of time for me in one of the special episodes, I'll see if I can make an appearance and say stupid things and act stupid for you for a little while, which is like me normally anyway. So
enjoy your drunken.
Also, what's the largest animal you could beat in a fight barehanded?
Largest animal fight.
Could you take a kangaroo?
Nah, probably not. I'm gonna take kangaroo. Probably. I reckon he'd probably deck me. Like
medium dog.
Nah,
Labrador.
What about a Labrador?
What about like koala bear or sloth? Like they're like still like reasonable.
Sloth. Anyone could beat a sloth.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that? That's
punch in
quite
slow
large.
motion.
Well, the question was, you could peck your face off, wouldn't it? His wingspan's probably the size of me. Like
You're one of these pussies that bring down our average score as a country.
How about what about
I ain't
wombat?
fighting animals though. That's
But if he was
I
up
ain't
for
got to
it.
fight one.
He wants to fight you.
Yeah, Lawford. What I said was he, the animal is speaking. You know, he's got a human voice, so he's giving it.
All right,
You know,
give
so
it.
He's giving it.
I reckon some sort of like emu or something. He's got a shit neck. I better grab it and ring it, and that's it done then, isn't it?
Yep. I agree.
On that note, we'll let you go. Go on, because
Right. See you, mate.
Peace
Thanks
out,
for
boys.
coming.
Catch you later on. Take care.
Thanks, Lawford.
pissed dragons.
Bye-bye.
What an idiot.
Would you say, Rob? Sorry.
Pissed dragons is what I said.
Pissed dragons.
I think around that, around the Lawford leaving note, how much longer are we gonna drag
Fucking
this?
all right, mate. You,
Are you in a rush?
Gina giving you some greyfish here or something?
I don't know. No, am I like going to open up a beer?
Yeah,
or not?
go
Is
for it,
what
mate. I've
I'm-
still got half a crate left.
Open up
Yeah.
a beer, cunt. Come on.
I've still got half a crate. I'd
What
quite
are we
like
on
some.
now? How
I'd
long
quite like
we,
some strudel.
2.5 hours. Come on. We'll break. Let's go to 3 hours. Come on. Let's make the 50th the longest episode.
Yeah, I think we've already done it, but yeah.
No, we haven't yet because the longest episode was about 2 hours 40 minutes, I think.
Anyway, I'll just put a link in the
Sorry.
in the chat.
Fucking hell.
I don't know
All right,
if
mate. You're trying
I
to
don't
be
know if you
professional.
saw
aren't you?
this. I don't know if you guys know who Lil Uzi is. Some would say he's a rapper. Some would disagree. But he's a person, and he has he's got a diamond implanted into his head, like just
Okay, as you do.
above his, like right in the middle, just above the eyebrows, like anyone who's into Marvel, right where Vision has his little stone. He's got a diamond implanted in his head. This diamond's worth $24 million. And
Is it actually though?
apparently, yeah.
Like,
Because it says he hasn't actually paid it all off. Like he's financed it. I don't know if it says it in this article. Is
That's
like really
crazy.
short, but I read about it somewhere else. And yeah, he hasn't. It's been surgically implanted into his face. It says face. It's his head, I guess. But
Where does your face end and your head start?
eyebrows.
Fact.
Yeah.
No, but it's your forehead. That's like before your head.
it's like this bit, right?
The
This bit is
front
still
of
your-
your head, like your
you say that's your
foreskin is
head?
still your skin.
I haven't got one.
You still think this is your head?
Yeah,
Suppose it is. If your head of the ball, you.
yeah.
How many
Eyebrows,
fingers
yeah,
is your
you're probably
forehead?
Almost exactly 4.
Yeah, mine
I've got
Because it's only
huh?
3.
Got 3 going
You
on.
only got
You got
3.
3 head.
Yeah.
You only got 3
I mean, I
head.
can.
But then,
well, I can-
this
I can
bit is
kinda
like
do that.
5.
Like,
Look.
yeah, I could say it's 3.
This
If I raise
is
my,
fine.
raise my eyebrows.
Yeah, so my sides are 5, but my front bit's 3. Yeah.
Oh, my side bits are like a good 9. No,
Fucking hell.
there's a lot there. Mine goes back.
I don't know. I already got a side.
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm covering it up with my dreads.
But
You got dreads?
anyway,
Joking, ain't you?
old Lil Uzi, he was crowd surfing, and they ripped out his diamond out of his head.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
So what does he look
no.
like now without the...
Don't know.
Has he got a picture of his whole...
I haven't seen one.
I'm going to type in Lil Uzi diamond hole.
24 million.
24 million, yeah.
Diamond hole. I don't believe it. I don't believe that is...
He managed to get it back. So, like, a diamond,
Yeah?
I don't think it was intentional. But the, yeah, you can see there's many pictures. Just Google Lil Uzi diamond. And,
So what? But what's holding it in? I don't
know, you can get those, like, subdermal, like, piercings and stuff. Yeah, you can get, like, piercings that go in your cheek and stuff that are just, like, what they do is
Yeah,
they do, like, a
I suppose so.
tiny little slit and then, like, a little plate goes underneath that has the piercing. So I imagine it's something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like a bellend, doesn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
Not very nice, my friend.
yeah, I've got nothing against piercings and tattoos and all that
Be a
sort of
nice
shit, but,
guy.
I mean, he looks like a fucking...
24 million. Now, come on, as if he's got that on layaway as well. Like,
Yeah. Like, he hasn't actually.
because like, surely it's just like there's no diamond in the world that's worth 24 million. That's bullshit. Like, they've made that up.
I reckon there's a diamond worth 24 million.
Yeah, but like it ain't actually like it's all bullshit. It's all like you know they're like whole diamonds in a reserve to like drive up their price. There's like loads of them. They ain't rare at all. There's cunt loads of diamonds.
Diamonds aren't.
They're not rare in the slightest, and they literally hold them down. Yeah.
And you can make they can make diamonds now, like actual diamonds. They just get coal and put it under like super heat, super pressure, and it ends up making diamonds. I think it's like not as pure and whatever, but like you can basically make diamonds.
Yeah, and they do things where
it's
they get
like
people
gold
like who go to
is valuable because there's a very small amount of it in the world.
Yeah, and they go to like different jewelers and request like the exact same cut of the exact same diamond or something in it, and they'll give wildly different prices.
Really?
Some big ass jewelers in like I don't know, big street in America, like equivalent to Oxford Street. What's there like equivalent to Oxford Street like? In like New York.
I don't know.
But you know what I mean. It's like stuff like there's like examples of that, and people go to like one place there, and then they go to like an equivalent place, but it's like down the road, round a corner, and they ask for the equivalent diamond, and it's like £400 difference, some stupid shit. But there's no £24 million diamond.
There's a diamond called the Cullinan diamond, which is the largest gem quality rough diamond ever found. That is worth up to £2 billion.
That's mad.
Fuck off, that's stupid.
It's owned by the Queen.
Is it really owned by the Queen?
Yeah, Elizabeth II in right of the crown. So I don't know whether it's one of the ones that is in the... It says that there's a bunch of different diamonds that have been cut from this one stone. So I guess there's lots of different things it's been used in.
That's crazy, isn't it? It's in the crown jewels, is it, I suppose?
It's in the crown jewels. It's in a few other royal jewels and stuff.
So she looks after it, and every now and then they chop a bit off.
Well, I don't know if she looks after it, but she's...
Lizzie, and she's got it in her pocket.
She just chips a bit off.
Lizzie, Lizzie, let's shave a little bit off.
Have a bit on.
Let me shave a little nug off.
Oh yeah. Give me a fucking nug. Okay, now that was quick, Tom, wasn't it? Did you fucking force that out, son?
I think it was more a beer grab than it was a slash.
It wasn't a wee run.
It was a beer run.
How did we used to do this in the studio? I guess we weren't drinking, but
yeah, we just never used to drink.
I don't remember needing to go and have a wee in the studio.
No, that's a difference.
I do remember needing to go to wee, but not going to it. And then as soon as we finished recording, it's being like, fuck, need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Different when you drink like 3 beers.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had quite a few. Definitely going to order some fucking chicken and chips or kebab or something.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I want a strudel. I've wanted a strudel for ages. I've got a strudel waiting to go.
Strudel?
I know Gina's going to be livid that we're not having strudel.
She can't. She's vegan, though, isn't she?
You can get vegan strudel. You behave yourself.
My fucking vegan cream.
You just buy it from the fucking shop.
Shut up.
Yeah. Sainsbury's. It's one of those things. It's just a strudel, and you wouldn't even think about it. The strudel you buy is just because
it just tastes the same, right?
But no, but it's not even labelled as a vegan strudel. It's just the strudel that you buy.
But sure, yeah. What's in a normal strudel that isn't vegan?
Well, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. I ain't buying like a plant-based vegan strudel. Mate. I'm buying just the strudel from the frozen section.
Calm down, mate.
From the strudel from the frozen section, and it just happens to be vegan.
Look, just calm down.
Strudel! You can't!
I do love strudel though. Lynn and I went to a...
Do you say this every time you eat it though? Do you go, a ton de la crème?
No, I don't.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, I should do.
I'm out my depth.
Tom. Do you know what that is, Tom?
I'm out my depth. That's from Inglourious Bastards, isn't it? When they're that scene when they have the strudel and he's like,
he waits for the cream.
Christoph Waltz
in the opening scene where
no, it's the same guy, but it's that guy, like the Jew hunter from the scene where they go back.
Calm down, mate.
Where they go back and they're like, like,
when they want to attend, they want to hold this film in the woman's cinema.
Theatre, yeah. And Goebbels is like interrogating
table,
her.
just sharing lunch, and they have a strudel and stuff. And he says,
"I remember that scene."
It's super intense. It's like so intense because like this intensity that you know that she knows. And it's like, does he know who she is? And it's like, yeah. And he's like, order the strudel, and then he goes, attendez la crème.
Fucking, when I was in Vienna, I had the best apple strudel ever.
Yeah, I think I've only ever had strudel when I was in Germany.
That's good.
So
good time to have strudel by the sounds of it.
I
buy strudel quite
had
regularly.
schnitzel when I was in Germany.
Schnitzel's
I didn't actually know what schnitzel was. Like I didn't have a clue, and I just said, like, I saw it on the menu, and I said, I'll have the schnitzel. There was schnitzel and chips, I think is what it was. And
what is it?
Like a big flat bit of chicken.
Yeah, it was. The one I had wasn't good. It was just like, chicken had just been flattened and then breaded and cooked, but it was.
I think quite common they do like a vegetarian schnitzel as well. It's the same. There's
I imagine
that
that would be
classic
better,
meat where it's like, it's probably the same whether you have the vegetarian or the meat one. You know, it's the same.
Yeah, I had the meat one, and it was just but it wasn't like a real nice restaurant or anything. It was some like pub. But yeah, I've been learning German.
Oh yeah,
it's like on Duolingo, so I don't know how like intensive that is. I think what's my streak? Let me have a look. I've been doing it for 215 days in a row. Not missed a lesson.
Well,
still don't really know much.
What does the Glocke mean?
You told me it's the bell.
And what does the Riese mean?
Giant.
Wow, he's fucking.
He's fluent.
He's German.
Yeah, so I can go to Germany and call everyone a giant bell. That's what you need to do.
Speaking of demon dogs, have you heard of the Pennywise the Clown demon dog?
No, I
think I'm about to. Yeah,
I'll send you a link. It's this spooky dog in America to be fair, he does look fucking terrified. I'll send it to you now.
I can send the link then, mate. There you go.
Oh, mate, it's in the fucking chat, cunt.
Pennywise the Clown.
So basically,
it's viral.
It's this dog that is looking over a fence, but he looks pretty scary. I mean, I wouldn't want this dog living next to me, you know. You listeners, this will be up on the screen. There'll be a picture of this dog.
Yeah,
looking over a fence.
There it is.
I'm just looking at a video of a general dog. This is not. The video at the top of the thing is not what I should look at now.
No,
fucking hell! That's a joke. That's a joke. That's like a
war with tiny chihuahua. Oh, that's the dog. Fucking hell! All right.
And don't look at the T-Mobile advert underneath.
That's a Muppet, surely.
Go scroll down. People memeing it. There's like a
that's
picture of
Michael Jackson zombie.
Michael Jackson,
we all love you,
love you.
We all miss you,
miss you. Michael Jackson,
you are the creator of the moonwalk. It was brilliant.
That's the best. It was brilliant. No, when he says, "Love, you are the creator of the moonwalk, lovely moonwalk." It was brilliant. It's still brilliant. Michael Jackson. I'm glad I remembered that.
He hasn't texted me for a
Banger.
couple of weeks or so. I need to see if he's
fucking
alright.
love that. Really love that.
You should message him, Tom, with this new story. Because he's probably really happy about this. Boffins invent toilet with camera which identifies people from their anus's unique anal print.
I love that it refers to the people who made this as boffins.
Yeah, like,
boffins.
what is that? Is this school from like the 90s?
We still said boffin when I went to school.
I got a question for you, right? When you were in school, was it cool to have a big knot or a small knot in your tie?
Excuse me?
Big. See, what about,
No, it's small.
yeah. When I started
Big square.
school, when I started school, it was called like a. If you had a big knot,
Rosebud.
it was called a boff knot.
What about a rosebud? For
It was
the
literally
opposite?
called. It was called a boff knot if you had a big knot. But by the end of school, I remember like the fucking like naughty kids coming in with the most pitiful amount of tie. I remember it was laughable. The amount of like end of tie they had
Oh yeah,
sticking
the
out.
end. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
always
yeah,
cool
yeah.
to have a short end.
Do you mean like the length or the width?
I mean the
of
actual knot. I'm talking about the actual width of the knot. When I first started school, it was like they called it a boff knot if you had a big knot, and it
Yeah.
had to be small and tiny. But then, like towards the end of school, you had a huge, like barely done up tie with like
Yeah.
a tiny little bit sticking out
that's
of it.
kind of
That was-
how ours was the whole way. Like you got to have wide knot and then a short tie. But our
an
school was
embarrassing
pretty
amount of tie
strict
come through.
on
Yeah,
not letting you do that. Like you had to. They wanted
Yeah,
you
of
to have your
course,
tie
yeah.
down to your waist and shit like that. So people
Yeah.
tried to play it. You had to sort of like have it not too short. You're going to get in trouble, but not too long. And I think there was something. This is awful. But like, if you had our tie had stripes on it, and if you had more than 8 stripes, you were gay. I think that was it. Like people would count your stripes, be like
classic, innit?
9
Yeah.
stripes, you're gay. Like it just
I think that's official. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how it works.
that is official.
Um,
yeah. But no, yeah, it was always wide knots and
Yeah.
and like short kind of tie. I remember people used to did
told
people
you
used to
back-
peanut people.
Yeah, peanuts.
Peanut where you just yank someone's tire, get the
Yeah.
knots.
We used to call it
And it was
rosebud.
impossible-
We used to call it
Rosebud.
rosebudding.
When
Did
you
you?
pull someone's
When you
tires?
jam- when you,
That's
you
such
pull
a
someone's
posh
tie,
prick
yeah.
name. Like
That is a posh prick
Ben,
name. Yeah,
I went to the same school as Rob.
No, you didn't.
I thought you went to Gable Hall.
No.
Oh, well, you're a cunt.
yeah, we used to
Yeah, no.
yank someone's tire, get it so tight that it was
Yeah,
like impossible to
rosebudding.
no, peanut.
Funny. Isn't rosebudding like
Peanut-
an
peanuts
awful
for
like?
fucking bellends, mate.
Isn't rosebudding like an awful thing in like in porn, where it's like a prolapsed arsehole? I think that's rosebudding.
Brilliant. You've always got to bring the tone down, you know. It's,
Bring the tone down of the Curios
Yeah.
cast.
yeah,
I don't-
the tone's always
I'm
up
not-
here.
Yeah.
Right, and then Rob brings it right down there.
What other things at school? Did people used to seatbelt at your school? That was a
Was
What,
that when you?
seatbelt?
Was that when detaching
no.
a bag?
It was like where you just grab someone by the back of their rucksack and just yank it as hard as you can. So if someone's
Oh, trying to like give him whiplash.
yeah, pretty much. Like it
That's
was brutal
brutal.
as well. Like you just like if you
Yeah.
had your rucksack on, so that's why some people would wear like one shoulder, you know, because that kind of prevents that. You could just twist. But if you had two straps, you are in danger. Especially if you had a rucksack that has a handle on the top, you're just prey, like walking around the corridors.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that would have been. Well, luckily, we didn't have that because at our school it was like, yeah, at our school it was you wore one strap, like 2 straps was just like a no. You couldn't wear 2 straps. It was just unbelievably uncool to wear 2 straps. But then you used to put one strap over you, so you know you wore one strap across the body. That was like, yeah, because wearing one strap was actually incredibly impractical. Like it was just awful, and it just sucked. Like it really hurt with your heavy bag. So you'd wear it across your body, and eventually bags started to come out. They were like designed bags that they must have sort of cottoned onto this, and you could buy just a one strap bag. Yeah, but the one strap bags had like a
Velcro.
no, there was like a catch, either a Velcro or a
fucking
catch
Velcro
there,
one.
and it became a common thing. You just go up to people and go, "Bosh,
Yeah.
Velcro it, clip it." And you had to like. So eventually, you had to walk around holding your middle
Yeah.
strap, like because you
Those
knew that was
bags
going to
never
happen.
took off in my school because it wasn't that uncool to wear 2 straps. Like you could wear 2 straps and it would be fine. But
Yeah,
I remember it was a West Ham one. I had a West Ham, which is a bad thing anyway to wear any football team like
yeah,
sort of accessories to school. Like even though
yeah.
I'm in East London, wearing a West Ham bag is pretty safe. Like, there's obviously
Yeah.
cunts there that are just happy to take the piss out of you. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it was one that went across the body, just one strap, and it was Velcro. I remember my mate Jack, fucking every single day, as soon as I got into school and like, it was like, oh, you're right, how you doing? He'd just fucking rip it off. And it just, obviously, it just falls on the floor and you're just a prick picking your bag up from the floor.
Yeah, standard.
And it was before and after every lesson, it was fucking, I wore it for like 2 weeks and gave up.
It's funny, that was like around my time, it became a thing. It was very common to see those bags. And then towards the end of it, like two-strap just about became cool. Like it just became acceptable to wear two straps. And I remember like the turning of the tide in my head when there was like this one kid that was always like the sort of cool, naughty kid. He started to wear two straps and we were a bit like, yeah, like I'm so confused. He was like ahead of the time, really. We're all like, thought I was uncool.
See, you know what you said earlier, Rob, about regressing memories isn't true, isn't real. I legit can't remember probably 80% of school. I just can't remember.
Is that just forgetting?
Being at school.
But it's just
I think maybe it's because I've like regressed it all because
it's not regressed it all because you've just forgetted it.
Yeah.
The point they're making in this thing is like regressing like awful experiences that have happened to you is just there's no evidence to suggest it. Whereas pretty much
I love that
everyone
with a spoon, like.
with a spoon. Everyone has had an awful experience happen to them
as well, not even just a normal spoon.
No, but everyone's had some like fucked up awful experience. You remember it, like you just do remember it, and you might try to not remember it, but you do remember it. Like unfortunately, you do remember it, and like you might think about it every now and then and be like, oh, I do remember that. Like I wish I didn't remember that, but I do remember that awful thing I did that time then. And I hate it, like I regret that.
In your school, did you ever do scrambles?
Oh yeah, we used to scramble for Pokemon cards.
Oh, we only done it for money. But
for money?
Wait, so what?
That's the age difference. Pokemon cards were banned at my school.
Surely the card would get wrecked, right?
Yeah, pretty much always.
But the thing is, for anyone who doesn't know what a scramble is, you throw something on the floor, shout scramble, and everyone fights for that thing. Like, whether you want it or not, you're in the scramble, you got to fight for it.
The thing that I always found weird about the scramble is that the person that throws down the thing is just a loser.
They're paying for the entertainment, really, is what's happening.
I suppose.
But we only ever used to do it with money. No one would do it with, like, anything else.
We used to do it with Pokemon cards.
I only ever knew it with Pokemon cards. Yeah,
Beyblades. Do you remember Beyblades?
I do remember Beyblades.
That was like primary school for us, anyway.
I was out of school by the time Beyblades happened. Like I was done.
Yeah, you're.
I reckon I caught the end of it in primary school or something. But in our secondary school,
Anyway, well, fucking hell, Rob, you're not that old. There's no way, but you was out.
I think just Beyblades weren't cool when you're out of school. Like you just got to 16.
No. Rob wasn't out of school when Beyblades came out because you're not that much older than me.
Or maybe I just think maybe it was I was beyond the point.
Yeah, you're just too old for it.
We were too cool for Beyblades.
Beyblades were still when I was in primary school.
No bullshit. They weren't.
I'm pretty sure people still play Beyblades now. When I say people,
maybe it wasn't. Maybe Beyblades were not cool by the time. At least,
well, yeah, they weren't. They were never
whatever age I was at.
But like the big Beyblade sort of craze was still when I was just cool. Maybe like year 7. I'd just gone to like secondary school.
All I think of when I hear Beyblade is that. Do you ever watch any of those like Don't Flop rap battles? And there's the one with Mark Grist. Those like, and it's like teacher versus student, and he's like a sort of poet guy, and one of his bars was something like, "Go play with a Beyblade before I slap you with an F grade." That's like, that's tragic.
But yeah, the scrambles.
It was quite good. It was good though.
Most of the time, people would just be throwing down 10p's and 20p's, but obviously you'd hear the money hitting the concrete, and someone would throw down maybe like a handful, like 4, 5, 10p coins, and throw it down the floor, shout scramble, and all the girls scream and run away, and all the boys just swing their arms and are just fucking fighting. And then, even there was like no fucking rules. If you were like, even if you had your hand on the coin and it was pretty much yours, someone would just boot your hand out of the way, or just like push you over, like punch you in the head, like anything. And it was violent, yeah. And then every now and again,
just for the sake of getting it as well. 10p.
Every now and then, someone would throw like a couple quid on the floor. They'd throw like £2 coins, and they'd chuck them in and scram. And obviously, and it would be fucking violent. Like, it get to the point where people obviously get in trouble. Like, it's a big fight. And I remember this one time, right? It was before school. I was pretty early, so I'm walking around in a playground. I don't think any of my mates were there yet. I'm looking around trying to find someone. And I was walking about. There's no one around me. I was kind of round the back near where like the bins are and shit, like just coming in. And this £1 coin just rolls from like quite a distance, and it hits me in the foot, and it stops. And I look to my left, I look to my right, and there's no one around me. No one sees this £1 coin. It's just me and the £1 coin. That is it. And I think, nice, £1. I bend down to pick it up, and then I put my hand on it, and my hands are on this £1 coin. I'd lifted it up from the floor. I've lifted it up about an inch or two. This kid, I don't know who he was. He must have been in a different year. He comes and just stomps on my foot, my foot against the concrete. Like, he stamps on my foot, and my hand is like scraped against the concrete. Obviously, the coin falls out of my hand, and he like pushes me, grabs the pound, goes, "Sorry, mate, scramble," and then just runs away. And I'm like, fair enough.
Fair enough. All's fair in love and
I
scramble.
didn't even know it was a scramble, otherwise I would have fucking left it. But there was no one near me. I don't know. 'Cause people used to do that. They would they'd see maybe it was always like when they'd see like a big group of girls just chatting.
Yeah.
They'd get attention of a few of the bigger guys. Just get like a £1 coin, just throw it where the girls were and go scramble. So obviously all the boys just run over there for this £1 coin, trying to get it, and mayhem.
Yeah, I only ever knew it with Pokemon cards. I didn't know it existed outside of Pokemon cards. And I remember I once got a Zapdos.
Ooh.
I wonder if I still got it somewhere. A shiny Zapdos, but it was like you said, it was fucked.
Yeah.
It was like crumpled up. I think I traded it out. I think I traded my crumpled shiny Zapdos for something else. But yeah, that was the only scramble I ever won.
I think I was a bit late, but there was never like a Pokemon craze in any of my schools.
Yeah, he must have been a bit late because that went off. We never played it. I never ever played the game. I don't know anyone that's ever played the game because it was a game. It was like Magic the Gathering. It was. I don't think anyone ever really played it.
So I remember with Pokemon, you got those. They were like stones in like the basic packs. They were like these blue stones.
No, you're chatting shit about it.
No. You in the Pokemon
actual physical stones, or you mean energy
basic
cards?
stones. They were like I guess just like glass stones or something.
No, you're wrong about that. It's not Pokemon.
Booster.
You are mistaken. 100%.
No,
you're mistaken.
No, 100%.
No, you are mistaken. That is incorrect.
100. No, you don't want to be wrong again, do you?
No, I won't be.
You've been wrong about fucking cool shit.
There is no such thing as
and you've been
stones.
wrong about fucking.
I wish Lawford was still here for this. No, I'm not wrong about fucking sneeze. There's no way there was anything to do with stones in Pokemon-based set.
How am I going to find this Pokemon?
You're not, because it ain't going to exist, so you ain't going to find it. If it exists, you'll find it very quickly, and it don't, so you ain't going to find it.
Are they just like
gem
looking things?
Yeah, they were like they look, like sometimes you'd see in someone's house they'd have a bowl of just like random blue stones in. It'd be like a decoration.
Yeah.
It looked like that.
We used to buy them when we were younger. We used to go down Brompton Walk in Lakeside when there was. Do you remember when it was like a market, George? Do you remember when it was like a weird sort of market bit? You go down there and there was like that
before it all got built.
Yeah,
properly
and Mama Amalfi's was down there, and like UCI Cinema was down there.
Yeah.
And there was like a little stall that used to sell those gemstones, and we used to go down there and buy them. I don't know why. I just used to like them. And like you go with a couple of kids from school and be like, that's where you buy the gemstone things from. Like, fun, innit? But no, you ain't going to find them because they don't exist, you prick. Like, you bought a base set, it was just cards, it was energy cards.
No, it fucking wasn't. It was Pokemon.
No, you're really wrong about that. You really are wrong about that. I'll tell you right now.
Base.
I bet you £50.
Why 60?
50. I said 50 actually.
Oh, do you say 50?
I'm struggling to find them.
I'm convinced.
It looks like there are, in the lore of the show and the game, there are stones. I don't know. I never got into
but that's the
I don't know
stones.
anything about it.
No, but that's probably like the stones that you would win, like a badge. A gym badge was like a stone, really.
No,
so that's probably what you're reading about. That's what Tom's reading
Yeah,
about.
evolution
like,
stones.
Yeah, okay, well that's different. That's what you use to evolve your Eevee and stuff. And,
No, it wasn't. It was like
and your Raichu and your
You're talking about
Pikachu
the
into a
physical
Raichu.
game, right?
Yeah, but you're chatting shit. But there's no physical, no bit of fucking stone.
There was. I can remember
No,
these.
there wasn't.
There was.
There really wasn't.
Oh, fucking hell.
Are you sure you're not thinking
you know
about the
what,
thing
you're
that's inside Lil Uzi's forehead? One of them.
No, because he's just a fucking prick, isn't he? I mean, who puts that in there?
Looks good, I think.
Who the fuck?
You ain't gonna find it, so that's
Yeah, I can't find it.
But yeah, we had Yu-Gi-Oh at our school, just our primary school that like a few kids got into, like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and that's Lil Uzi. Yeah, and I remember I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh enough to go and like buy cards or ask my parents for them. But again, my mate Jack, the one who used to rip my bag off, he when we was in like year 4, so you're
Shout
like
out
8 or
Jack.
9. Shout out to Jack. He's a postman now, and he he just gave me all of his collection. He's like, and he had a stack like as long as your forearm, like huge. And he's just like, I'm bored of Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you want all my cards? I'm like, yeah, fucking hell, yeah. And I had them for like a couple weeks or so, and I'd be trading. I'm like, oh yeah, do you want 10 of these cards for one of your cards or whatever? Because I just had unlimited cards basically. And this kid, Vwanganji was his name, and he was sick at origami, but he stole my cards one day.
I think I've heard this story before.
He stole my cards, and I remember like, he denied it, but I came back from lunch.
Cuts you deep,
I came back from lunch break, and my desk had no Yu-Gi-Oh cards in it when it had about 200 in there before. And he, who had no Yu-Gi-Oh cards before, suddenly had like 300-400, and he'd stolen some of mine, all of mine, and he'd stolen all of my mate Justin's as well. And
it still cuts you deep, doesn't it? I can feel the pain.
I remember we said to him, he was like, where'd you get all those cards? He's like, oh, I've always had them. Like, no, you didn't. You was even talking to us yesterday about how you wish you had cards. And like, because he was like sitting there watching us like dish out our cards. He's like, I haven't got any. And I feel like we offered him like a few. Like we gave him maybe like a handful of like the shit ones. And he obviously wanted the Blue Eyes White Dragon and shit. And and we told the teacher basically, it was like he stole away, because teacher's like, what's going on? Why are you arguing? We're like, he stole our cards. And we had to sit there. It took fucking ages, but we had to sit there in the head teacher's office, basically going through and be like, whose card is this? And we're like, mine, dishing it out, and go through like 200-300 cards, just dishing it out, whose is whose.
Bleak, really, isn't it? Because well, the teachers probably really knew his circumstances and knew that he probably didn't buy those cards.
Yeah.
You know, like which is bleak when you think about it.
He was sick though. So he I don't know where he came from. It was either it was an African country he came over from. He didn't really speak much English. Like for the first year he was at school, picked it up pretty quickly. But like one of his ways that he, I guess, sort of got a rapport with everyone else in the class was at the end of every Friday we used to have Vwanganji hour, where he would get up in front of the class and he would make something out of paper. He would do some origami for us and we would follow along. And he was fucking amazing. This kid at origami. So he made he made a camera. It didn't actually take photos, obviously, but it was like it's basically a rectangle box made out of paper. You'd have to use like a good few pieces of paper, all overlapping, interlocking, do some cuts and stuff. But this camera, it was just a rectangle box. It had a shutter that was like open, and it had a button that when you pushed, the shutter would move. Like it was fucking insane. And I remember he just said like when we was at home, like I don't know, Ghana or Nigeria or something, he just said like they didn't have much. They didn't have TV. They didn't have electricity. Like they couldn't play games or watch TV. But for some reason, they just had tons of paper. Like, they must have been near a fucking paper factory or something. But, like, that's how they would pass the time. He made a Nokia 3310 out of paper that when you press the buttons, it would actually click. Like, it would, like, it was a bit bigger. Like, it was quite a big, chunky thing. It was just a big rectangle of paper that looked like a Nokia 3310. Like, it had the screen, like, was a separate bit of paper, like, coming from underneath. And it had all the buttons in the layout, and he'd managed to fold the paper. Like, the thing is, he would get in front of a class and he would show us how to do it, and everyone would try and do it, and it wouldn't be anywhere as good as his one. Like, he just had a fucking knack for it. Yeah. But he used to, like, somehow make the buttons, like, pop out so that when you pressed it, it would, like, click in, and it would make, like, a click noise. Like, the paper would fold in on itself. And you can only do it a couple of times before the paper gets soft and it doesn't work. Yeah. But he was fucking amazing, that kid. I wonder what he's up to. Let me Google.
See if he's like some origami expert.
There can't be many people called Von Ganji, surely.
But, well, you say that.
Yeah, probably. I've only ever heard it once.
Yeah.
So, Tom, you know, he was talking about ordering some chicken or something earlier. So I placed an order in Holland for some chicken. It's gonna arrive in a fucking hour and a half. I mean, it's like 11:30.
I'll tell a story, right? When I was in Amsterdam, and as Rob would say, I'd partaken in some of the local delicacies of the fungal variety. And we were there for maybe 5-6 days. So we kind of alternated every night. One night would be truffles and mushrooms or whatever. Next night would be alcohol. Just go out, you know, on the piss. And, you know, give yourself time to recover. And so we'd gone into, I don't know, a shop that sells truffles and stuff. And they have on the desk like a laminated bit of paper that has sort of like the strengths of the truffles going up from like the weakest to the strongest. And because we'd been to Amsterdam a couple times, we'd worked our way through the list, and we were on the strongest ones. And we said, we had them a couple nights ago. Have you got anything else? And she went, She was like, not on the menu. And she pulled out from some drawer, and it was like, it was mushrooms. It wasn't truffles, which you're not supposed to be able to get. And she was like, I remember saying, you're not supposed to have these, are you? She's like, no, who are you, the police? I'm like, nah. She's like, well, take them then. I'm like, okay, cool. So went back to and we done it in, you know, safe space. We went back to our apartment, nice big sofas, quiet, whatever. You know, all our friends we've known forever sitting about, and had the mushrooms. You're supposed to give it time for it to settle in. Like, it can take a while to digest and everything. I'd left it maybe like 2-3 hours. Hadn't felt a fucking thing. Like, I felt sober as can be, and I was bored. Like, one of my mates was sitting there tripping out. A couple of us were like sitting there like not really feeling much. Probably because we'd done it like the day before, like a couple of days before, and a couple of days before that. So we were sort of, I guess your tolerance is maybe higher. And I got bored and I was hungry, so I said, I'm going to order some chicken and chips. I googled what's like Just Eat but in the Netherlands or whatever. Found some app, ordered fried chicken and chips, and I thought, these are a dud, not working. I'm going to go have a beer. I had about half a can of beer, and it must have just either hit me at that time or it like reacted in my stomach, because the whole room started spinning. Like, the room's getting really small and really big, and like, you know, obviously, no one like lives on the ground floor, do they? Like, all the living rooms are on the first floor and stuff. It looked like I was on a train. Like, looking out the window, it looked like all the houses were moving along. It was like I was fucking out of it. And then I remember reading before, or listening to like on a podcast, that like when it comes to psychedelics, one of the like harshest things is when you do like a real big sort of change in environment. Like, if you're in somewhere warm and quiet and you go to somewhere cold and loud, like that can really fuck with you. And I was reading that when Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the writers of South Park, they when they showed up for like some award show, like the Oscars or something.
It was the Oscars.
They put like women's dresses on. They took a bunch of acid in a limo And they said they were
they
fine
did.
when they was in the limo. They was having a great time because it's like them two just in a limo. I said when they walked out, when they got out the limo, and suddenly they're outside in the air. There's loads of strangers pointing cameras at them and shit. Like they were freaking out.
Yeah.
On a much smaller scale to this, I'm sitting there like, oh guys, like I wasn't having a bad time. I was just kind of like, this is a lot. This is intense.
Yeah.
And the fucking knock at the door. My chicken and chips are at the door now. I'm like, fuck, I've got to go downstairs and answer the door to this guy. And for one, the stairs were really steep. I was like, because we had a really long conversation about how steep the stairs have to be before they're a ladder. When does a ladder become stairs and when does stairs become a ladder? But we walked, I managed to get down the stairs and the guy was obviously getting impatient. So he's like, knocking. I get downstairs and like, it's this fucking like, this guy must have been like, he probably wasn't that. He's probably just like 6'2" or something. But in my mind, he was like a fucking giant, and he had a motorbike helmet on, and he's talking in like a Dutch accent, and he's trying to tell me that they didn't have any chicken wings, so they gave me like extra strips or some shit like that. And he must have just seen my eyes were like probably like the size of like my pupils were probably like the size of fucking frying pans. But I was looking at him, I was like, yeah, and then he's just he's trying to ask me a question. But I didn't know what he was asking me, and and I just kept saying and he looked and he like flipped up the visor from his helmet, like looked deep into my eyes, was like, oh, okay, and just like handed me all my food, and just it was like have a good night and left, and I had to like climb up the stairs, and I sat down with and I remember just like. The sensation of like the saltiness and like I remember biting into a chicken strip and how like rough the breading on a chicken strip was just like fucking with me. I was just like, it feels like I'm eating a mountain, man. it was too much, and I didn't eat any of the food, and it was a good time though.
You make me fucking hungry now. Honestly, you fuck me.
Yeah, I'm 57 minutes I've got until my fucking 5 chicken wings and a couple of chicken strips turn up. Cunt. How's it take an hour to deliver some chicken wings?
God,
what's the fried chicken situation like out there?
It's not great. I mean,
you've already told us that the Just Eat situation is like.
Yeah, I remember you saying about the Indian food
being
non-existent, basically.
Oh yeah, that was it. That's what you said.
There's a lot of there's a lot of good vegetarian stuff. But,
lame.
Yeah. If you want like a good curry or you want like a good chicken and chips, difficult.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Rob, you wouldn't survive out here, mate.
Huh?
No vegan.
So there's a lot of vegetarian, but there's no vegan.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I don't think there's
weird.
many vegan delivery places here. I mean, there's some nice vegan restaurants, but not delivery. But to be fair, if I'm pissed up on a Friday night, vegan isn't top of my list, so maybe I'm just not.
Yeah, mate, you ain't looking for it, mate. It's about...
No, you get some.
Yeah.
I was about to say halloumi. That's not vegan, is it? Fuck.
What would you get from like late night?
Yeah, what's a good late night vegan snack, Rob?
Look at his face.
Yeah, ain't amazing yet. Just some chips. Chips. Is really what you're getting.
But the thing is, though, if you order chips, can you be sure that they haven't fried them in with something else?
They don't. But like if they fried it in a thing where they've maybe also fried. What oil are they frying? Unless you go to a fish and chip shop. In a fish and chip shop, maybe they're frying a sausage batter in a thing. But like. Even then, if it's in the same oil, it's not that deep.
Some people go that far, though, don't they?
Some people do, but I ain't about it. It's fine. I'm okay with that. As long as they ain't frying it in like beef dripping, which is rare. Like nowhere does that. My mate James was telling me about. He went somewhere. He went out with his dad somewhere, and I feel maybe like Southend, and he said he walked in and out of like 4 fish and chip shops. It was like walked in. Would you cook your chips in? And the answer was out. I didn't even respond. Like I don't know what answer. I can't remember what answer he was looking for. Whatever answer they gave, is like as soon as they answered, didn't even respond. Not like no thanks, don't worry. It was like no response. Am I giving you? I am out of here. Like I think he was looking for him to say like in beef dripping, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was like whatever the old school.
Oh, so he wasn't
classic.
looking for like a vegan. I thought you were saying like he was vegan and they.
No.
he was looking for-
Oh no. He makes like builder dad. You know, he was like he went in there. Would you fry chips? And they were like, you know, vegetable oil. He was like, fuck off. You know, like, I'm out of here. Not even like, but also not like, okay, thanks, no worries. Just like literally, they'd answer and he would just turn around and walk out. Like, not even dignify with a response.
My one of my local chip shops, actually won the award for best chip shop in the country. Quite a while ago. It was like 20. I was still in school, so it was like 2012 or 2013 or something. It's all right. It's definitely not the best chip shop in the country. I think they just
Probably the walls though, innit? It's like where's that?
So
what is that?
it was
Have they
based on
printed out of the internet and put it on there.
It was public voting. So they basically, I remember whatever year it was, 2012, let's say, they came 5th place or 6th place or something, and then apparently the reason was they just didn't have enough slips to hand out, so they were handing out slips to the customers saying, "Oh, go online and vote for us," basically, and whoever gets the most votes wins and is the best chip shop in the country. And then the next year, they obviously got
It's dead then, isn't it? Yeah.
many more slips, and they said, if we win and you can prove that you voted, you get a free bag of chips. And because
That's just-
my school,
that's
my
such a
school is literally right next to the chip shop. My school's pretty big. There's like 350 kids in a year, and then there's another school just up the road as well.
Have a free
So
bag of chips.
every kid's just going there, being like, getting as many slips as they can, and filling it out probably like 10 different times, and then afterwards trying to. I mean, to be fair, even when they're not giving away free bags of chips, there is like a queue round the fucking block for this chip shop. Like there is, I say round the block, like there's maybe like 20 people or so like coming out of the shop, but
Still,
they're doing
yeah,
well,
hype.
yeah. And but it's not that great. It's like it's literally just
It's
normal chips.
Just chips, yeah.
For all of our American listeners, we're
apparently-
actually talking about fries.
Fries.
French fries.
But they're not fries. Fries are skinny, like what you get from McDonald's. You get, and chips
Yeah.
are fat. They're like fat. Imagine,
different now. I think-
imagine you ate like 8 fries all in one.
Definitely unique to the UK, innit? The big chip like that. That is different. I don't think
Well,
you
the
get
chip
that.
shop
chip shop.
Yeah, the
chips.
chip shop
Yeah.
chip. That is a
Lynn
UK.
doesn't like them. She calls them floppy chips. But for me, floppy
fries are
chips,
floppy,
big. No, because you have like the thin fries that you get in like a
Yeah.
chicken shop. But you have the big old floppy fat boys that you get in like a chip shop. And for me, the chip shop ones are
See, I
superior.
prefer skinny. I'm a fries guy.
No.
I do like a fry man, but a chip shop
I
chip
like-
done properly.
Well, you know what I
Oh,
like? I like
great.
something in the
You can't beat
middle,
it.
like
At the
you can,
seaside as well.
Calf chips.
No, but when you go to the city, like
Yeah.
Like
I like a
cafe,
chip shop
yeah.
chip
Yeah.
chip shop chip at the seaside though is the one. Like
Oh,
when you
it's so
actually when
good.
you're there in the context and
And you
air,
got the ketchup on it. You got the
smell
it,
your
yeah.
salt.
Yeah.
You got your
Onion- your
malt
onion-
vinegar as
your
well.
onion
Yeah.
vinegar.
The Netherlands have got
Oh,
some
I'm about
good
the onion
chips.
vinegar.
Like, I don't know.
Don't no. Don't even let
No,
Lynn
no.
hear this and give her more
I mean, I
ammunition.
don't know if they
because-
have them like where you live. I've only been to Amsterdam, but there's like
Yeah.
these.
They
There's
have
these little
got
like
good
there's
free
like
special.
these little hole in the wall kind of places where
Yeah.
they
You
just
have
do
sauce on
chips.
top
That's all they
and
do.
stuff.
The frites.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
They call
Yeah.
it free
Mayonnaise.
and they
special.
give them to you in like
Yeah.
a classic paper cone. And
yeah.
they've got like
Yeah.
they've got like 20, 30 different sauces that you can ask for, and the mayo is the only answer that's acceptable. And I remember he asked me how many pumps of mayo I wanted. I assumed like a pump would be I don't know, like a normal amount that I'd expect from a pump. So I said, like 2 or 3. I tell you what, 1 pump is enough to drown like a couple hamsters. Like it's a lot. And he drowned my fucking chips in mayo. But their mayo is so much better than any mayo you'd get here.
It's like it's like double
It's
Mayo
like
anywhere in
yeah.
Europe is better than here in the UK.
Yeah. And they have did you have it with the raw onions
I don't
on top
think
as
so.
well? So raw onions and satay sauce. Oh mate, It's fucking.
Well, look, you fucked me up now. I'm gonna have to go and eat. I'm gonna have to call it. I'm so hungry
well,
now.
apparently, so I've just got an email saying my order's on the way.
Yeah, well, you're bullshit. Well, I'm gonna have to go and put my oven on now. I've got ages to wait.
Yeah, but they said it was going to take 55 minutes. But
Well,
that's
great,
bullshit.
mate. Under promised, over delivered.
But I don't know who to believe. I don't know if to believe the fucking website or believe my email.
I'm going to order some chicken
Well-
and chips and it'll be here in 20 minutes.
Right. Well, fuck off. I'm gonna go cook my strudel.
I think I'll be waiting for ages.
Ah.
We'll see.
Gina might have already eaten all the strudel, for all I know.
Fucking
I've no
Gina.
idea.
get her to bring you some up now.
Fucking fuck off.
Anyone who's
I think
made it through the last 3 hours and 20 minutes or so of us
Yeah.
just chatting absolute dog shit, congratulations.
Comment strudel.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's so many different things you can comment about. Tell us about, whatever. I don't care. I'm done. Like, at this point, like
Absolutely
anyone
no
who's
idea.
listened this far isn't going to turn off for me be like saying shit, whatever.
Hats off.
Well, I guess
strudel.
one thing we could say is just thank you for listening for the last 50 episodes. If any of you have been here since day one,
Yeah, that's
thank
true.
you for joining us on this, this journey so far.
Journey.
And people like Jimmy, from across the pond or from other countries, thank you for
Yeah, you're our
tuning
favourite.
in.
Big ups.
And being so active on social media and being active on YouTube and stuff.
And for like
Massive
anyone who has
respect.
listened to like loads of us, and obviously if you've listened this far in, and you obviously do, there is something redeemable about
Yeah.
us. Like,
Yeah.
tell your friends to listen to us. Like, podcasts are one of those things that only really spread by word of mouth, right? Like, the only time you listen to a podcast is if someone tells you about a podcast. So if your
My chicken's here. Be back in a second.
Fuck off. All right, well, you're gone
But
in. You're a prick.
if you're ever in a conversation and someone asks if what you've been listening to lately, if you've got any podcasts, just give us a mention. Say the Curios Cast. It's spelt like curious, but without the second U at the end. And usually they say, what? There's two U's? And you're like, yeah, like the first U and then there's the last U at the end. It's curios. And say curio is actually a word that means like something weird.
Exactly. It's
Yeah. and that's
Curios.
us. We are the Curios.
Right. Let's go before George
Before
comes
George
back.
gets back. He can't say bye. Yeah, cool. Rob, you going to play us out?
I guess so.
Now that I've said it. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you all. Leave us a review. Subscribe on YouTube. George has his chicken. It's been 50 great episodes. It's been
Definitely just fell over coming back up the stairs with my chicken as well.
It's been 3,390 minutes of amazing content. Thank you, everybody. And we look forward to another 50 episodes.
Thanks, everyone.
Peace.
Have a lovely week.
Episode 50.